जेंजी जेंजी जीती। The match began on split. Paper Rex pick. James, you were quick. 38, 39, load is completing. Damn.
Crazy dog. Man, how you guys crazy dog. Man, how you guys loaded so bad? I'm crazy dog. Man, how you guys loaded so bad?
Yeah, Loud won that Sentinels ended up putting up. But Icebox was close, man.
Really close.
And Sunset too. There's no guarantees that that goes the way of Sen again if we do end up going to 3. Sen need a good start here, but I think for Loud too, they cannot afford to just get battered as they did previously. Hypok was talking about that scoreline. It was devastating for Sen.
Early presence showed here by Loud into the main with the boombot, walking up behind the smoke. Looking like they want to fight through it. They've got a flash ready and waiting. Potentially, no, just literally egoing the smoke. But Zelsis is going to be holding for this one. Jiggles it. Stray shots going wide here. Might be calling for reinforcements. And so far, a little bit of damage done. It looks like just a 10's not a re-clear. Going to be called for B main.
And 10's prepping the paranoia in case this Trailblazer caught contact. It didn't. They've re-cleared B main, but not necessarily going to start taking that territory with bodies, instead looking forwards to the fight in mid. Cowanzine did not use a fault line at the start of the round, so he's still got that, but it's going to be a gunfight instead.
Yeah, just straight up. I mean, just dry into it, no kit being utilized. Again, want to face with the bodies.
And to be honest, I think that favors Loud. Yeah, they've lost the breach, but no smokes if they decide to go over and commit to B. And Loud are re-exploring down mid as well. John Cutie and Sewers.
Massive proactivity being caught here by Sadak, but, well, John QT left to do so much more there. Just the one before the trade comes through, but the B site now opened up entirely for them. Will be that plan. Sassy's out wide into the open. Could have been danger there. The nade, I guess, staves it away. And a call is made to try and fight into the spawn. Zelsis. Snakebite now being held, but he's got 3 targets to deal with. Luckily, Zella. Okay, Zekin right there. Vulnerable. Will he be able to get the damage? Of course he will. Followed up in the end with the snakebite post-mortem.
I love watching Sen set up these kind of little plays. You could see it constantly when they were playing against the European teams in the Swiss stage, and they didn't want to offer them opportunities to go for retakes, where they would cook up some kind of post-plant aggression, and they've always got a different idea. That's the great part about this Sen team that took the offseason so seriously. These players now have just a depth of micro plays that they can add in. This one, a snakebite off contact.
Let's go!
Already seeing examples of both of these teams just trying to be proactive.
Yeah.
I like calling that mid-push earlier, fighting through into spawn. So I think what I said earlier, both these teams, they're going to be pushing themselves to brilliance. I think you might be seeing it. At least we certainly hope so. Les Korani open no man's land, so he will fall.
And I think what you're seeing, at least at the beginning of this game, is Sen taking a very slow approach. That's a big kill. John Cutie going down on A means that this side of the map no longer has any threat.
Oh, second reactions there. Fault line stunned up. Well, there it is. The classic damage coming through. Flash in the end as well, so Tens is shortly behind him with a flash repeat. Cowanzine can't get too much more done. 1 player left. 2 years. Can't see too much danger in the round.
No. And Sentinels were forced to accelerate there once John ended up dying because they don't have information about what's happening on the other side of the map. But if you want to talk about info as it relates to these compositions, Loud constantly need to be jiggle peeking corners, need to be going for those proactive explorations. And that's going to incentivize Sen to play a little slower, to try to punish the jump peaks and see if they can get damage or kills that way, to try to punish the info pushes into mid, that kind of thing. And Loud can't always run around the map pushing on defense with utility because it just makes it so obvious where they're playing. It's a difficult comp to play on defense.
Might just get even harder as well when Sen end up swapping sides. They look like one of the better teams here at this event when it comes to their split. Largely due to their retakes. The fundies here for Sentinels though. Standard. Now the util being thrown out wide here for that ramp control early. Now setting their sights out into the A side. Sadak! Anchor in position. Tucked nice and tight and safe and really just buying time for the rest of his team. Where are the reinforcements? It was a molly into the smoke and well, damage has been done. Vulnerable up. Sets it up for an easy one for Zelsis. 3 versus 3.
Bit of a blunder there for Loud, offering Sen another opportunity to get back into it. Not planted for Heaven.
Spike planted.
Oh, and the pick goes down too. Now Sassy is pretty far away, but I think, yeah, I mean, look at the way that Loud are clearing this. They're expecting a reflank back up.
Holding. Usually going to be the bread and butter of a team like Sentinels, just trying to fight, scale for it. That paranoia, the timing on it. It's immaculate as soon as the nade comes through. Yep, just hearing it and tucked to the corner. Sassy removed. Taken out now, just 2 will stand, and it could be just a bit of random spray, a bit of random spam that saves the day for them. Celsius traded, Pip going down. Tens 1v1. Doesn't really have to gun for it as a bulldog, but will it be all bark or all bite? Tends to be the latter when Tens is wielding it.
Great clutch there. Enormous round for Sen to be able to pick up. The momentum piling forwards for Sentinels as they win the bonus and knock Loud's economy down. And what a fumble after Sadak's able to get a 2K at the beginning. And it's a 5v3. The stun just comes through a little too late for Sadak to be able to follow up on. And then the flood that comes out is late too. And they've taken a huge player advantage situation, set up by their IGL.
I think 3-0.
Tossed it away.
Yes, 3-0.
Glimpses of the comms there as well, keep playing together. Fundy's on show for Sen. Winning that bonus round is amazing.
And I do think that that's such a key. You know, Loud thrive against teams that opt into the individualism. You saw what they did to EDG.
Oh, yeah.
It was a massacre.
No chances, no gaps when they're playing against that. I mean, you can argue as well a team like Loud had a relatively easy path into playoffs. Only beating out the Chinese representatives at Madrid.
Neither of whom played that well in their games against Loud.
Didn't put up a fight, really, did they?
But having said that, we know that Loud are an extremely good team when they're on.
Sassy feeling the danger there. The dog spotting out.
John is so much
wide. Yep.
That is so much info. John's like, guys, there can't be anybody B because they're all looking at me in mid.
So lucky to not pay with it with his life. Nade waiting.
Are they dead?
It's Loud.
There.
Could be some danger if they find a few initial picks rattled off maybe with the Sheriffs, but to use the Trailblazer early. Nade follows through with a snake bite exchanging, the handshake dropping down. Sadak was alone there. There wasn't really much to do with in terms of the follow-up. They have to face it wide though, with the aftershock being played for. So much damage done to these Loud players. Positioning's known and noted, and so 3 survive into it with Zekken picking up 3s. 1 away now. And the big critical ultimate on attack side, that showstopper is going to be putting in some work if he manages to earn it.
Yeah, and this is the problem once you start snowballing forwards. Loud are going to be 1 away from having a broken economy again, and SEN are starting to get up to key ults. Look how nice as well the Sentinel's utility usage is when they get into a plant scenario. Zekken's holding to try to deny somebody who might try to stop the plant, but he's also ready to throw counter utility with that nade as soon as the retake starts happening. They know how Loud are going to play, and they've already prepped the counter to stop them.
It's really one-sided affair. I want to see some bite back from Loud, really.
Oh, this is interesting.
Jaldi.
Celsius went for an orb lineup that's all the way 2 Viper orbs layered on top of each other. And that's going to disincentivize what Loud have been going for. This is Sentinel's Viper orb in mid there. You're going to take a lot of damage if you want to try and fight mid, if you're Loud. And that's, broadly speaking, what Loud have been doing on this defense side so far. Only 4 rounds in though.
Dog right on cue there. At the minute mark. Can be broken for a bit of that mid-round information, but only shown by the 1 player, so Loud still left scratching their heads ever so slightly in terms of wondering where this might land, but they are starting to guess now correctly with the Seekers as they're pointing them directly into the right targets.
Sassy's going to pick up the ult orb and get Seekers himself.
Seconds left. Which direction is this going to go into? They've still got 2 players planted into mid here for SEN, but the spike over towards A, they are struggling to get themselves in. Push and pull, ebb and flow of the map, not really working out in SEN's favour. They need openings, they need options right now, maybe to be granted to them. A bit of spray with the damage, the bullets going wide, but this is such a difficult setup to break into.
20 seconds left.
What are they even going for here? Slowing it down, but really time is going to be 15. The worst enemy. It's a team flash. Sean QT there, close to the corner, cut to wide. Satchel's through and over the top. Kabazine still anchoring. Tucked tight to the corner. Sassy planting the balls on the man to go for that one out wide for a heaven plant. The wrap around. Now Zelsis becomes a key player in the game.
He's managed to pick up his orb and reposition it too, so he's got more control over towards heaven. So he's set to try to blind somebody playing elbow. Tensor's already repositioned up top.
There's no follow-up off of that flash. Oh, Kabazine with the stun finally now to try and at least attempt that reclear, but you're going to have to be giving this one up. They don't have positioning at all. Celsius is backed away, playing a really passive position. 10 spots it, backs away, not favoured for that fight. And they've won out the at least critical ones. Now, no mollies for Celsius.
Les
Tap onto it. Les is holding for it and watching for it.
That was really nicely done there by Loud. Coming back in, they had so many different things that they needed to navigate. You saw that there was no follow-up on the paranoia. That's because they're expecting some utility in response or aggression in response. Look how good Cowanzine is at being able to deal with Zekken flying over the top of him too. Unless, as usual, the backbone when it comes to fragging, winning duels against Tens and Zelsis to shut the round down. That's where you see the slower pace of SEN get punished. If Loud are not going to give them things in the mid-round, give them openings to punish, you've still got to be able to make your own success with the executes at the end of the day.
A familiar setup. Doesn't look like there's the same Viper orb that's being thrown out.
No, not this time.
Not from Zelsis.
The other thing that's amazing about that Viper orb, though, too, is it keeps people in mid, because you could lurk through it.
Yeah.
So I think we'll be seeing that one come out to play a little more.
With the present show, though, now with a boom bot.
touch tips.
Yeah, handshake.
QCK
Grouping up for A.
QCK and Kawansina are really close to
Ek ka
huge
scene hai
ultimates too. So Loud being able to put that previous round on the board is just so huge for them to stop the bleeding. Everything was red.
It's a lot that could happen right here now with 50 seconds left. QCK shows it, body checks the dog, breaks it down, and he's one away from a large hold of his own. Onto Heaven control, but now here it is, showstopper. Fault line to stop this one. Zekken was blind as anything, no way with the movement! Just evades capture. Still low enough though. Tens now with a TP into the back of the side. That was not punished, and it is that full retake protocol, but already ram control game for Loud. Look at them clearing that so damn proactively.
Meanwhile, Celsius is so far away from the rest of the squad, just trying to find the timing for a late lurk. He might be too late.
There's a kill. Here's a showstopper. Finally online. Rocket round towards the back. Sassy is dropped like a fly. Tens has to do the most now. He stands his ground and wins his one out. Kawazi falling out. Sadak though
It's
looked
been
into
slowed
this position
down.
to Molly to push him out of position. Second,
Celsius is here.
finally arriving to the party though. Util in his hand. Sadak adjusts it and watching for it. Tens now 1v2. The double face is there. Terrific together. It's 2 years. His partner in crime, Mr. Sadak himself. So with that defuse online, that's going to be that second round on the board. And Loud starting to get a handle now in terms of how to tackle these A sites.
Yeah, finding the timing there to re-push ramp before Sentinels were anywhere near set up for it, right? Sen's general game plan is we're going to get to site, we're going to have some kind of post-plan idea for aggression, or a backup plan like Celsius going for that late lurk. But if you can find the timing between them going to site and setting up the next play, which Loud did, you can be very disruptive. And also, one of the big crucial factors in round 5 and 6 to Loud winning is that they just had players able to take ones and win duels. You saw Tens at the end there. We've seen him do magic in those positions sometimes before. But Loud are shooting back. Might sound reductive, but it's very important. Here's that same orb lineup, but this time it's just going to go straight into a pit. I don't think that's going to have the value that Celsius was hoping for. Kind of risky to go and retrieve it too.
Yeah. Basically lost, isn't it? Can't really be reclaiming it unless you have a plan to re-clear, which is stacking bodies, don't get me wrong. Just hoping that a few stray bullets might land into the cranium of less, but he's tucked to safety, making sure the pit will stay up.
Scout destroyed.
If Sen get a read that Loud are playing heavy over mid at the start of these rounds, which they generally are, there's normally 2, sometimes 3 players there, Sen might be able to make an adjustment and go for more burst executes. But all of this is so based on having a read of what your opponents are doing in this match. And they will be changing it up compared to the last time they faced off.
Re-clear called, it looks like, was the dog QT. He's been pushed forwards now, tucked. And there it is, kill claimed. QCK, fault line. Definitely there, actually, laboured enough, but still, the trade online. The call's being made to try and speed up the play now into B, but already that Util, look at it. I mean, the paranoia, the smoke drop down, cuts up the side, and with that lurk into mid, Sassy not rewarded for it. Tens has the spike here, looking eager potentially to take some fights here, but has to stick the plan now towards default, but his team do have his back and more. Look at that! Coordination on display. Sadak creeping and crawling. He managed to weave his way into the site there while all that chaos was going on, but not enough to get too much more done.
And that was a tricky round for Sen to be able to convert. When John Cutie goes down over towards A, Sen are forced. Their hand has to go B. And Tui's knew it was happening. The Loud players were there, and yet Sen come out on top anyway. Celsius destroys that attempt to flood retake. Dodge the flash and pick up both players. Good job. Sen, they are running away with this a little now. Getting to dangerous territory. Loud put 2 on the board with some slow, nice retakes, but now the economy's broken again.
Yeah, strange, isn't it? How that ends up working out, but quite savage. Going to be disrespected apparently. Flash, know that nobody's close, tucked to the corner. A lot of players now looking for a punishment. Noted that he plays here a lot, solo play. They're just going to posture and pick up the orb.
If they can find a pick on John, push him away, it'll create timings where Loud can worry about the rest of the map. And I think they've got a very good read that John is playing solo A lot. That's an expectation that maybe Sentinels can mess with a little, but at the moment, Loud have found decent timing here to make a little bit of danger in the round. The more the time ticks, the more you start to get worried in situations like this.
Absolutely.
Especially when we saw one of the rounds go down to only 15
John
seconds on the
क्योंकि अभी
clock.
भी लर्क कर रहा है
Get really
वाइपर
punished.
बी पे है
Brent, the spike is going towards A,
Yeah.
which is where LOUD are going for their gamble stack. There are only 30 seconds left on the clock. SEN are quiet, but so far
30
away.
seconds left.
They're faking like it could be going towards B, blocking off Les's sightlines, but no one's budging.
No one's budging. Kawazine looks to be the contact for Paranoia play that's being held around the back now. The nade flying forwards, close, corners still, doesn't win it out with a stinger, and the backside players are brutalized, eviscerated. Sadak goes for the flash repeat. Zelsis, safety in numbers.
What a swing and great dodging movement by John as well. Can Les pick this up?
D3.
He's been a monster.
He's got the rifle to do it still. There's going to be no gaps there, not with Sentinels. They know who they're up against.
And another round where SEN, it looks dangerous on the minimap. You see them walking into the trap. QCK even manages to get one. But everyone on SEN is playing really tight together. Making sure that they can trade, making sure the spacing's excellent.
Absolute cinema.
Absolute cinema. And they're running away with this. If you wanted to have an
There are 17. Neither of them can beat Gen G. I don't know about that. It's legit insane how good we are on split. Vamos. Gen Z for life, Sadak Coach, 5 Stack, 5 Skies, and Sentrela. Nice name.
Popping off, making sure he's communicating what he wants to be adjusted heading into this.
Gen G का देखना पड़ेगा.
Attack timeout taken for LOUD. Are they going to be able to find the adjustment that gets them a little bit of a cushion to work with?
Gen G versus PRX जो last match
in a good spot.
वो नहीं देख पाया मैं. But maybe highlights देख लूँगा.
Quite vital round coming up here.
Gen G
What you
जीती
mentioned,
है
the
और
economy
PRX
situation is a deep fault line. That's just off the rip from Kawazine. Into
मैं hope
market,
कर रहा था
but
कि
there
PRX
wasn't really much
जीतेगी.
to follow through with it. Looks like maybe it was just to set up B main.
PRX के
Now
पास
look how
और
difficult
एक
this is
chance
from Les
है.
and Kawanzine's point of view. You know,
Being
when
के
this
साथ
all
हारेगा वो
goes up,
PRX
it's very
खेलेगा.
difficult to know if someone on SEN is just quietly taking the timing through. And so these A players have to be cautious, concerned.
I've got your trail.
Little portion of the round though, with a minute 10 onto the clock. You can see those Seekers offloaded, pointing in various different directions, but it doesn't really give SEN an indicator.
वापस यही जाएंगे क्या?
A male is going to be free, or not male, but Ropes itself.
Yeah, that
Raise
Seeker
rotate
went
कर
a
लीजिए,
long
Seeker
way
rotate
before
कर
it
लिया.
hit Kawanzine over in A Heaven. So SEN have a pretty good
Furious भी
idea
कर लिया
that
rotate.
path to A Heaven is fairly uncontested.
But dog हो रहा है
Dog
बीच
here
में.
actually might give such bad information.
Scout destroyed.
Broken.
It didn't see the second player of John QT. We'll see what SEN end up going for. Certainly relying a lot on the mid-rounding here from John rather than having
He
set
went
game
से
plans
जा
going
रहे
into
थे
the
लोग.
rounds.
Sadak, Seekers of his own now, spotting all the way through into mid. Everybody bursting through. Now the
30
snake
seconds
bite.
left. Scout
Used on the Q as he hears that Trailblazer. Where's the follow through now from the rest of the TP
ECT
main?
smoke, yeah.
Lost control of this one. There's going to be questions asked now of a lot of these LOUD anchoring players. They want to give it up entirely. Don't want anything to do.
अरे भाई रुका जा रहे दो लोग.
That
Side ही
paranoia
छोड़
thrown
दी.
from Tens is lovely. Would have caught anybody over towards rafters, and yes, the time is low, but look how devastating this looks to
Wait,
retake.
How do you do this now? Yes, you have a rolling thunder, but it's going to be
ऊपर ही ऐसा.
utilised hopefully now to clear through into the bit. They've got this late
timing.
lurk. The flying from Sassy. In the end, he
Sassy,
scores all the
Sassy,
distraction in the world. Gets out with his life. Close to the corner. Cut him up. Still, John QT. Quality tactics, quality time now with the whole family as he's sat back into the spectator. CQCK forward.
B3 है.
But it's already wrapped around, so they got to expect
Nice,
Sassy
nice,
there. That
Sassy,
was a
nice.
half clearance. Not enough. 2 years TP adjustment. He's on that high ground position, just
Let's
propped
wait,
up. But Les now needs to get more done, and he can't do it.
नहीं
It's
होगा
going
नहीं
to come
होगा.
down to
जीत
just a
गया,
bit of
जीत गया.
spray and pray. But already time ticking, so 2 years, no chance in hell.
And it's another situation, Brent, where LOUD cannot get any level of economic cushionry going. they're going to be knocked straight back down onto a low buy. And that adjustment, whatever it was that Sadak came into the round trying to inform the rest of his team, it did not work. They weren't ready for Sassy here in B Heaven, and they weren't ready for Sassy again once he repositioned into B main. It completely disrupted what Loud were going for there with the retake. The timing could not have been more perfect.
The way SEN are working this map, I mean, it's a masterclass.
Yeah.
Speed running it.
It really is. There was a lot of talk coming in based on their regional performances on Split that they might have the best split in the world. And, you know, I was saying, be cautious. We haven't seen them play up against all the other teams in the world. But man, is it looking clean. I think the believers in the Sentinels split are getting their beliefs confirmed.
Yeah, now the weaker buy here from Loud using that Trailblazer, trying to be fast onto the approach. Chance here, Zekken tries to adjust the spray, expecting players to swing from that left side. Tens evacuating, has a Paranoia still left to play for, but the mollies are really clearing him out of position. What's the call now for Loud? Looks like a pivot.
Yeah, very mobile though. They've made it feel like it's ramp and they're already pressuring the screens. There's still a trip here for John. Tens is in their spawn where they buy guns.
They don't have a clue. I mean, it just caused them to all just be looking backwards as well. Less didn't have any sort of idea. Just watching in case it was in mid-2 one with a rifle, but no longer. Dropped to the floor, dropped to the deck. Less quite able to do it.
Yeah, and it's not really Tens that makes the round-winning play, but I think it was that Cypher trip coming from John. He'd popped it over towards screens. I believe that's how Cowanzine ended up falling off screen. Zels has got a double spray down. Have a look here. Blinded up. Yep, hits the trip.
Oh, yeah.
And also gets QCK killed because he's right behind him. So it just gives the perfect timing and positioning for Zelsis to go for that spray. I mean, everything is working here for SEN. It must be devastating for the Loud morale. Bear in mind you have a full BO3 ahead of you, and you knew that you wouldn't be favored here, but it is still going to be mentally difficult to bring your spirits back up.
Hopefully have that experience in spades. Oh my, showstopper. Let loose there. There is the trade online from Kawazine. He followed up with the stun at least, but this high right angle of Tens drops down, gives him the cues. Kawazine just taking a white peek by himself, man. Taking a fight by himself. Yeah, there's back up there, but heads have fallen, heads have rolled. And now exactly what Loud ordered.
But
advantage situation, looking lovely for them. One away from a showstopper too. SEN, they're going to be able to get a plant down here. They're pretty certain that A is completely clear. They saw so many people fighting over mid. This one is going to be tough. Loud cannot afford to throw it away.
Yeah, just watching for it. Look at that. Loud. Great awareness knowing that SEN are going to have to be playing a bit more proactively, making the moves into the post-plan situation. Sassy is the lone survivor. Gets shut down by his former squad.
And so SEN, for about the first time in this half, tried to do something fast at the start of the round. And that actually results in Loud getting the round win. Right? Every other round, we've seen Sentinels with a tortoise-like pace to the beginning of these, making sure that they are cautious, diligent about everything. And as soon as they step forward to try to take the fight, Loud are so happy. These players behind Zekken just got wide swung and minced.
Crucially as well, final round of this first half, the money's looking good, the ult's even better. The showstopper for QCK. Can play really much more aggressively now that he's got that one.
And the silver lining, if they can get to 4, if they can win a pistol, maybe it's doable. But they've got to be securing those wins.
Yeah, clean with the rounds that are available to them now. Viper does throw a lot of just chaos into the mix. I mean, look at the amount of Loud players. It's just gathered all the way into mid to watch it. They've got 3 players checked and ready.
Yeah. And Tens is still holding counter utility over towards B main. That timing was looking pretty good. Just.
Now that they've spotted the op though, the call's been made to contact in through B main. So SEN have just got themselves a freebie there. Can now utilize this. Ult forwards.
No way!
Now, no value to be found there. Out wide once more. Still, QCK's on a swivel. Molly's vulnerable him up. Pushed him out into the open. Easy collection of the kill. There's 45 seconds left. Chances to slow this one
Yeah,
down.
has
Looks
it,
like
has
Sen
it,
have
has
no
it, has it.
intention of it. Forward positions once more. Kawazin drops down
Stuck
from the
on
ropes here, spraying down. But he's disjointed on the rest of his team. Kawazin out wide. The reset. Oh, Rolling Thunder lifts him up in the air, sky high, and then one player standing towards the back as a crossfire setup, and the aftershock is elite. Kawazin on for so much more. An ace on the cards, less to stick. This one comes down to the spam, but John is stunned. The tap, he's going to be out wide, he's going to be forced wide, knows it. Info gathered now, but another stick now. Less finally to trust, maintained in his teammate, maintained in him, might be punished. The tap, out, force with a jiggle. John QT, balls on, steal! What a clutch!
Kawazin was forced to reload in the middle of that, and John took the timing as Kawazin reloaded. Les was still on the spike. Unbelievable timing from John. And Kawazin had done so much, more than anyone could have been asked to do. But the timing on that, of when to take the fight in the 1v2, was utterly superb.
It's perfection. God damn, absolutely unreal.
आंतरी कर्स नहीं भाई, सेन के सामने कर्स नहीं चलता। पर जो राउंड निकला है, अल्ट भी किया, एस होने वाला था उसका। जॉन क्यूटी पेन में बैठा था, V1 था। जॉन क्यूटी ने जो राउंड निकाला है, IGL है ना ये? सेनिमा, हाँ, नाइस वन, नाइस वन। सेनिमा, नाइस। ये मैप टेंस, जॉन क्यूटी सेकेंड, खतरनाक है।
Why the teams keep letting it through? Well, the reality is, it's a middle ground map for most teams.
Certainly true. Loud have come into this perma-banning Lotus, and Sen's Lotus looks good. So that means you have to go towards this. So pistol round. Loud decided to take a ramp control at the start. Sen wanted to fight over mid, but there was nobody there. Loud has still got some people really, really far away from the action.
Real fast refight. The stun. There's no connection there, so Les is able to just skip and hop away. But John QT uses his watchful eye onto it. There's a gap into the smoke. Maybe a bit unintentional there. Maybe just a bit rushed from 2 years.
Sen are also expecting there to be more players on site right now. Like, okay, well, where are the other two players for Loud? Lost track a little bit of where Kawazin 2s could be, and now they've lost a lot of map info too. There are still chances here for the Loud players to turn things around, but this silent jump spot will be punished.
A couple of obstacles, really.
And look at the rest of Sen, tripled up, re-clearing areas of the map, trying to regain some information, making sure that they don't offer any 1v1s.
30 seconds, sir.
Methodical. You know the win conditions of Loud right now.
यही तो बोला था।
And against it, slowly creeping forwards, making sure to regain some of that map control. No kill found onto Kawazin. Less a chance, really, for him to bite back and fight back. Here it is. Return of the fire. 10s from the wrap around. 2 is running all the way through. He knows the time's against him. So, pistol round does not go the way of Loud there. Sentinels, again, looking like just a map of pure domination.
10-3.
Yeah.
This could be extremely similar to the last time we saw these teams face on Split. As pure SEN domination. Sadak caught off guard by that one. And John picking up the 2K. It's just enormous. That paranoia, by the way, too, lovely from TenZ. They didn't know, as far as I'm aware, that Les was in that position, and TenZ just sensed that that could be dangerous.
Keep it up. Small windows, but
now Loud have got they've got to force. Right? You're down 3-10. You didn't win the pistol. You need some momentum.
But Spectrally,
all relying on this one. That full investment.
Spectre
Money left standing. Trips though to stop them in their tracks. They try and take control of this. The dog broken before it even triggered into it. They do find it. Reface, Elsis, that is incredibly brave. Well, second following through with the bullets as well as Stinger. That's just a wide
Sting
gap there still.
Yes, Sting there.
Sentinel's fully aware of all potential possibilities right now. Sadak has been pushed forwards into this deep angle and approach. That trip broken. There was a chance of a timing.
Explore. He's very favoured in a fight against 2Es unless 2Es gets the jump on him.
No way, just the ghost doing work!
That's bonkers.
Yeah, it's got the one pick, but there's no real follow-up there with the players. I mean, they can't really react appropriately. He sends the util flying.
It's pulling Zelsis over. It is making the A site weaker here.
Second John QT though.
John QT ने बता दिया.
Back on going to be spotting the crossover.
30 seconds.
दिख गया.
There it is. They'll be calling out now that they could have been compromised towards spawn, but now time running against them. Loud, get a move on. Cages. Propped up, pushed up. Behind it, John QT can't follow through after that trip. There's a smoke in his face. It does make it quite dangerous, quite difficult. Still, it's a bit of run and gun in action. Only a few seconds remaining. Pull out the sidearm. Why not? And it gets the job done.
Really excellent teamwork and anchoring again there from SEN.
वो smoke देखा
Didn't have a cage for himself to be able to play inside of, but has a smoke there from a teammate. Somebody inside the smoke that he can spam off. Just really solid setup. Beautiful little team plays happening all over the place for SEN on this map. They've refined it so well. And Loud, that force smacked of desperation. Down 3-11 with only sheriffs to work with. This one is a GG go next.
That's brutal. Really brutal.
And the other two maps here are going to be, even if Loud were to win them, very hotly contested.
Not today, bro.
It's not like Loud have a map themselves that they are guaranteed to dominate on.
No, they got a Sisyphus level fight ahead of them, honestly. Uphill battle. Xbox, both of these teams quite favoured on their attack side. Sunset, I would give the edge to Sentinels.
Yeah.
So even if you do win on that second map to extend the series, it looks dire still. Anything can happen. Team like Loud, being around the block, they might be down and out right now, but they have that experience to maybe rally themselves here. They need a few more though. Openings not going to be given to them.
Yeah.
Defensive setup for Sentinels just a little bit too strong, too well honed.
Everything. They've crossed every T, dotted every I. You heard John talk about it too when he said the devil's in the details, right? What makes a team excellent is not just the macro, not just the shooting, but it's all the small things, the little interplays between players, the maximization of, you know, a certain piece of utility, knowing to always smoke this spot, or knowing to always throw this nade in this particular way. And on Split here, SEN approaching some levels of perfection on this map in the current meta. They are ahead of the game here.
True flattening.
And it's going to strike fear into the hearts of anybody else, because if you have a perma, you have to let this through.
Yeah, playing Split against SEN, I mean, almost guarantees. Yeah, Sentinel's going to be taking it. They've only lost it a handful of times.
GG hai, GG.
One of them to this team that they're playing against now, Loud, but it was the kind of team getting knocked by their losses. Re-clearance called here with a flash and a paranoid. Well,
good counter flash.
Good one, yeah, from Kawazine.
Yeah, very important counter flash there. SEN are trying to set up plays like this because they have looser weaponry to work with. The two Spectres, the Bulldog.
Heal up, squad. Here.
So we get to see a slightly more aggressive version of their setup.
So goes the ebb and flow of the map.
But there are still chances for SEN to win this round and just dominate with the same scoreline that they did.
Flash rifle! Bloody hell, that's a lot of damage and a retreat. covered and watched for. Celsius just swinging wide, a bit of run and gun in the reaction. Called now from Loud. Into the site. Will they be able to get the plant down? Looks like they will do so. Too much pushback.
There isn't very much retake utility here for SEN. Normally their retakes are amazing, but there's really only a boombot to work with.
Waiting for the right time. I mean, the smoke up. 1 second here for TenZ. Going to be using it probably to block off one of the angles. Just jiggling for now. There it is, actually dividing up the site. Paranoia flying with the fault line. Time. Time to tick. A crucial kill. Celsius falling on top heaven. TP forwards. Backside control, at least partitioning in it, trying to taking it wide. Still with that util online. The aftershock does push them away. A time from John QT, but forcing the fights out into the open. The snake bites, plenty of util here. So Loud, really well played into that one. Just understanding how to play that fully, just using the util.
And it's officially now a closer game than it was during the grand final, where SEN won 13-3. But man, it doesn't feel much closer.
No.
Loosen up.
I mean, this round almost hit.
QC के कोई भी agent पे.
But
It was a bonus.
it's a bonus, you know. Yeah, SEN didn't have as much util available to them. Still, you know, Loud. 1 round at a time. It's all the way you gotta take it.
Yeah, we've seen them pull off big comebacks.
Reach top fragger.
We've seen them lose leads before as well, but listen, we won't talk about that one.
We won't talk about it. We'll mention it a few times.
Look at the timing there. Just beautiful. Great read that Les was going to go for an aggro lurk.
Les dropped. I mean, this is your star player. This is a guy you're expecting to put up massive numbers, who's going to offset that mechanical advantage that a team like Sentinels might have with players like Second, like TenZ. The desk was talking about it. When he's shut down here, your chances begin to dwindle. Trip in their face. There's no protocols at all to really deal with that one. Should have known it was there, surely, if they were walking all the way up. TP forwards. It is just being toppled and crumbled. All the opportunities in this round here for Loud. QCK with a nade does get the one onto Celsius.
I mean, this spike is down in such an open position, though. It sends to close out.
And Sadak, it's inevitable, yeah, the double face in the air. That is one of the most one-sided maps we've seen.
One-sided हो गया. Sentinels is so good in this map. For sure, for sure. Come back now. Doctor Strange. क्या बोल रहे? Doctor Strange already checked all the possibilities. None of it is allowed to win this. दूसरा मैप कौन सा है? SEN ban bridge, loud ban rotor, SEN pick split, loud pick icebox है. SEN ban ascent, loud ban bind, sunset remains. Okay. Sunset and icebox. कौन सा राउंड था ये वाला? Imagine thinking Sadak is losing to SEN when the game actually matters. Whoever loses here sweeps the entire lower bracket and will have bound to happen. ठीक है. क्या है? अच्छा बैटिंग। हाँ भाई। ये देखा नहीं मैंने, देखना है, देखूंगा बाद में। अभी आया 2 मिनट में।
Soy una gárgola, salgo de noche con todos mis gatos derrapándote en los coches. Pita encendida, todos de roce, la vivienda activa para el perreo hasta las 12. 1, 2, 3 con la nalga para el piso, la bebé anda sola, nadie le da permiso. Prende y pasa, lo seguimos en casa, que yo tengo un par de amigos pa' quemar la salsa. Oye, bandida, bebé tú eres una atrevida, cuando baila tan encendida. Le pide al DJ que ponga el chori con la blue, que grosería. Soy una gárgola, salgo de noche con todo lo mío, estamos puestos para leer. Soy una gárgola, salgo de noche con todo lo mío, estamos puestos para leer. Yeah, 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 yeah. Con Yori, dimensiones, con el Yori en la casa. Salgo de noche con todo lo mío, estamos puestos para leer. Con todo lo mío estamos puestos para leer. Noche.
Hey guys, I'm standing right now with Kaplan of Sentinels. Now, of course, the team, I don't think I need saying, but the team is looking like the current favorite to win it all, and a big part of that is just how consistent the team has been. How have you ensured that, especially since you guys have been very vocal that it's such a hectic schedule, how have you been able to ensure that consistency in their performance?
Yeah, it's always impossible to perfectly control how your off days go. You know, you can't prevent things like jet lag or a hectic schedule, but the one thing we can do is control how we sound once we get in the game. So as a team, we really emphasize the atmosphere. Is it too high? Is it too low? Recognizing it as a team without me needing to pause, and you know, the whole team having the skills to call it out and know what to do to shift into the right space, and the guys have done an incredible job with that.
That's awesome. And have you guys been able to take a day off? Have you touched grass?
Yes, that is another big part of it, preventing burnout. So we had a really nice day where we, I think it's called Parque de Retiro or something. It was beautiful. We got outside, walked the city. It was much needed.
Glad to hear it. That's why probably Sentinels look so good. So let's see if they can carry it over to the second map.
Oh, great choice of extracurricular activities there from Coach Kaplan. I'm your host, Yingsu, and I'm back here with Mimi and High Park. They look so good.
It's
good.
the park, man. I went to that park. It's lovely. They ride around on a little rowboat. There's peacocks.
They
in the
had
park.
a boating day for sure. For
Wow.
sure.
How could they not 13-4 last?
How come we don't perform like this, Mike, after we go boating?
Yeah, I can't answer that one, unfortunately. But I mean, to take nothing away, now if there was any discussion ahead of this, I know Josh said on the cast as well, there is no question. Sentinel's split is seemingly flawless. Like, they do not miss a beat. And every single decision you see along the way in some of these rounds, it's not even coming down to mid-rounding. The decisions of the individuals are automatic. They're firing on all cylinders.
They look so drugged. We talk a lot about this team's defense and how good their retakes are, how good their protocols are, but look at how they're playing their post plans as well. They're setting up forward here. Stilstis has a molly off his teammates' contact, and then they're ping-ponging off each other to take that fight together. This is another round where once they get into post plan, they're going for these executes with the double dive between Tens and Zekin, which always looks incredible. And again, look, Zekin has a nade primed, ready to go towards heaven. They have so many layers to these post plans, and really it seems to every stage of this map.
Sorry, yeah, sorry, just caught my breath for a second there. I think
They're
as well, LOUD,
breathtaking.
yeah, just an inability to really throw them off their game, right? There was no pressure towards the back line, the weaker extremities ahead of some of these executes coming in. Unfortunately, LOUD just didn't really get a look in. And with the way SEN have been playing and how well drilled things are, if you let this Sentinels execute on you, you're losing time and time again.
Yeah, and I want to shout out to the fragging IGL on the other side too for Sentinels. John QT, take a look at this. A Hyper X reflex. I felt like every round when he was still alive, Mimi, something magical was going to happen.
I mean, this was after Cow and Zine got a 4K, almost gets the ace in this round, and then John just plays the clutch to perfection. He's not always the flashiest player, but when you put him in a position he needs to step up, he seemingly always does, Mike.
Yeah, he does, and looked absolutely ice cold afterwards as well. Giving him a wave to close out the half. It's heartbreaking to see LOUD lose rounds like this, but like I said, with the individuals on Sentinels, not even Zekken and Tens, in scenarios like this, stepping up, this is the plan B. How scary is that for every other team?
I mean, everything is just coming together beautifully for them, but the job is not done. The job is not done just yet. They are one map up, but let's throw it down and hear what LOUD's coach STK has to say ahead of Icebox.
Welcome back, Mika Fabs here now with... Welcome back, Mika Fabs here, now with STK of LOUD. And now that was a very tough first map. What was the team struggling with the most, and how do you guys plan to remedy that going into Icebox?
I think that we entered in the game with a game plan. This game plan didn't work. Unfortunately, they adapted themselves, so they have a lot of merit on that. So on Icebox, we have we are more comfortable on the map. We have more plays on this map. So I think that's about this. Reset about the first map that anything went good and go for with our full power right now.
Well, LOUD is a team that you can't ever count. So let's see if they're able to bounce back on Icebox.
Exactly, Mika. Well put. But the thing is, Mimi, what are LOUD's game plans for Icebox? What do they do?
So they play this Harbor Viper comp that they've been playing for a while, but they execute on it really well. Last time they played, the thing that impressed me the most was their protocols in plant denial and retakes. They're very good at kind of Viper are really effective. This is a map where I think you get to see the experience, the fundamentals of LOUD on full display. They've played this comp for a while. They have a lot of variations of how they want to set up with it, especially on this defensive side. This is the comfort zone for the Brazilians.
Comfort? I don't know. Call me a doubter, whatever. Okay. I think, obviously, this being the anomaly of the grand finals for me is a very, very close-fought affair, a 13-11 scoreline regionally, but I don't feel like we're getting the same LOUD here. Other than, obviously, the EG series apart, I don't think really LOUD are in a position today to throw SEN off their game that much. Obviously, previously, Les has been the standout individual for LOUD on Icebox, but I don't know, I just don't get it.
See, that's the thing though, I agree with what you said. This is still, I think, a map they are very comfortable on, but Sentinels is also so good at it. They run a very different comp. They're playing this KO, Gecko, and I actually think that can play into this Harbor Viper quite well. You can be fighting through the walls, fighting through the smokes, combining those two pieces of utility, and Zekken just looks unreal whenever he gets to play the Jet on this map.
Well, this is the thing. Last time they faced each other, Mike, Sentinels did come out on top. You think history is repeating itself?
I feel, yeah, we were talking about this before. We were talking about, yeah, it's going to be a long, drawn-out affair here. I think with that start, it's just so hard. LOUD are one of the ones, time and time again, we say they're never out of a series. They're never out of a map. I'm just not seeing it again today. It's another concerning look at. You know, I mean, even there with the interview there, talking about the adaptations that SEN made, I don't feel like they made an awful lot. LOUD had no approach to really disrupt Sentinels gameplay that they've demonstrated time and time again on Split.
Sentinels, they do look so good, but you guys at home voted and you think that this is going to go the distance, and I have faith in the MasterCard fan poll. But the question is, Bren and Saisho, do you guys have faith in LOUD?
I mean, I'm praying. I'm on my knees here praying. So I'm not going to lie. I want a close game. I want something that's not going to be so lopsided between these two teams. We can certainly hope so. You know, the last time these two teams tackled each other on Icebox, it was LOUD who got the better of them. Both of these teams have very, very good fundamentally attack side. Drilled in that regard, but I want to see some fight back now from LOUD.
I actually think that SEN's composition is extraordinarily good against LOUD's too. It's just that SEN haven't worked on this map as much as some of the others in their pool. And if they've used this time accurately, then maybe they can come out with another incredible map. That's not going to help. Sassy going down there at the start of the round. You know, he's a really important piece of the puzzle in terms of getting the plants down.
It's a massive one with less of that early face, that early peak.
And Loud expect this to be a re-hit. And they won't really know otherwise until the alarm bot takes contact. And at that point, it's kind of too late. Sadak doesn't have nanoswarms to deny. So just gambling the wrong way here.
Sadak, flash through, who's playing anti. Where's the follow-up? There is none. Just rips away to it, and Frenzy in his hands. There's a backside position being played here. Dash fading away, but Second still standing his ground that he's earned himself. Dart dodged. Another play being set up as well. Tens with a pop flash into the peak. It allows Second to recross back, playing together now, but they've got 4 players to deal with. Make it 3. Can't let this one slip now, Loud. Shot dart. It's good for the damage. Tens going to be forced out wide. Tens! You can't be getting away with this, son! Surely not Nades! Doesn't even matter! Sadak pushed forwards. That's a 2v4?
That's ridiculous. The push into Sadak there to give Sadak 2 kills was about the only way that Sen could have messed up what was happening. Not that it's their fault. They didn't know where exactly he was positioned. But for Tens to recover that, he's forced to take that duel there as he crosses back. The sidelines. Yeah, he's forced to take fights because of their utility, because of how they're positioned.
Who are they peeking? Who are they peeking?
Give it to him, man. Oh my god.
I mean, the players on Loud are so talented, and Tens is just owning them.
You man, return to form.
His form has been spectacular in basically all of this year.
Yeah.
The actual shots that Tens has been hitting, the moments, the multi-kills from him have been unbelievable sometimes. When he's not forced to be the entry player, to have all of that extra mental bandwidth being taxed. The rifling's just been superb.
Player's going to be dropping plan online here for Sassy.
Now look at this high tide. It's not going to have an influence in this round, but I do like how Loud are using it. They throw it out from 2Es when he's playing over towards Snowman, and it's going to let them play between the Viper Wall and the high tide to break the wingman, to deny the plant, to fight more aggressively. I think that could be crucial once we get onto some of the rifle rounds, but there is no danger here. Sen have just taken a very clean B exec.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, Tens, he should be trying to hunt. Yeah, you see him swap the weapon.
Yeah. Offloading it in exchange there. Does want to go hunting. 2 years. Top of the bridge brings him down. Still 1 step closer. That's what matters.
It's a fairly important denial, though. If Tens had access to that ult at the start of the round, things would get quite difficult for Loud. The attack side on Icebox can be very potent. And the thing is, Loud's composition doesn't actually have great ways of disrupting you when you go for that. It doesn't have the ability to, you know, flash re-peek from yellow or on pipes on A, that kind of thing, which teams like Gen G have done so much work integrating those micro plays on the defense.
A little bit of proactive fighting over.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the reasons why we saw the attack side be so good for both of these teams, is that Sen hadn't really built out those defensive plays, and Loud's comp kind of relies on playing retake, which is easier to deny.
So the purpose of that Dizzy, just to spot if a player is aggressive up through B, but the Cascade blocks it anyway. Don't know if that's even been noted. I mean, bonus round here for Sen, all grouped up.
And not really an opportunity here for Tens to be able to get the ult online, I don't think. Instead, looking more like a standard A exec. Now, Tens is getting in position for this flash Dizzy combo that Gen G were using. It's so good.
Yeah, choose to break it. You're going to be staying right into the sun. The flash goes off plan. Now here for Sassy, Util a little bit delayed. So yep, it's down, close to the quarters. Down underneath rafters. Kawazine wins his one out versus Second. Still, gets to the position for it. And Tens is starting to use his ult now for this. Making sure that they can't use any of that post-plant Util. Keen and eager to take the fight. He's ripped Kawazine's head clean off. Over the top of the ropes, this is a real dangerous situation. Scenario, flash, peek. The rest of his team sets them up, but no real casualties. Now UCK finally, abilities back online. Dash, backing away, gets the one. Needs to clear the corner here, but he's just really struggling, waiting out wide here. Hammer to defuse from Sadak, pushed back and away, and a wide tip tap and a face there from the Loud players remaining just in time.
Very nice patience there from Loud. Didn't get caught by the flash re-clear but I can see that SEN are starting to add more stuff into their playbook. I mean, that flash Dizzy combo is so good. The pathing that the Dizzy takes and the way that the flash pops catches so much of the area. And Loud had to wait a long time to get that high tide and the Cove back online, and then played with each other really well to stop some of this momentum.
Calm the mollies.
क्या
We really need to calm the
मेरा
mollies.
मोबाइल उधर है
Okay, there we go.
मैं लगाया हुआ है कुछ
Zekken looking for a
स्कैन
readjustment early.
कर सकती है तो इधर से भी
These players are smart. They
Google
understand
खोलते
what
रहा
the issues are. Kaplan's talked about it so much.
Potential off the charts here, but clear understanding of what is really going wrong for them. Knife not broken. Hangs on to 2.
Yeah, that's going to create a serious threat, though. See how 2Ease is using his high tide to make it difficult for SEN to clear out that area, unless he's pushing up on the other
मम्मी के इससे करना
wing of the map.
मम्मी का मोबाइल
He's going walkabouts. Overstep himself, waiting for the high tide to now fade. He's going to be using again. Flash Dizzy. Dash forwards from Zekken. Make sure to clear all that space. If somebody was holding that aggressively, it would have been mince meat. But now, once they've gained control of B main, what's going to be the call? Maybe to go back into Zelsis?
Yeah. I mean, they either needed to hit B quickly there or go back over towards A, because if they wait enough time for 2E's high tide to come back, which it now is, it's much more difficult to get the plant down and get Sassy his ult. Drone is going to confirm. I think that a lot of these players have left the area. Does it catch? Oh, yeah, just
does.
onto Zekken.
Zekken looking like the fox in the pen, but with him notified now, he's really just caught.
He is, but he's going to be distracting and pulling people away for quite a while.
He's got 3 on him. Here we go. Coming through there. Dizzy firing a blind shot off, but it actually didn't trigger onto Les. Nano Swarm.
That's so much damage.
My god, yeah. Ten's lucky to be alive, facing top rafters Sadak. Taken out cleanly. Now Ten's going to be playing a 4 position here because he is so low. Might be able to get a 1 and done.
Sassy, with that ult plant, Wingman got the Thrash online.
Need somebody to break that dart from though, and there wasn't anybody really waiting available, but still, like you said, the Thrash is now online. Sassy lets it loose, the movement, clean, jiggling with it. Entertainment, not quite online here. Now a bit of pace injected back into the thing. See it Loud, using that util. All available for them, but it's a crossfire setup of Sentinels, and they punish that swing and wide face out. Great with the movement and patience with the aim. Cooling down the weaponry enough to take out QCK. Over and the top of the rope. Zelsis, he's hungry for this kill. He's hungry for it. Building up towards it, but okay, Les just a better player on the day.
But a sad situation for him to be in. He was the player pushed the furthest forward on A, last to fall. Everybody crumbling around him. I just want to go back a little bit to their communication from the previous round. SEN were coming, or Zekken specifically was saying, calm the mollies. And the reason that's so important in this composition is because players need to be able to hide. Players need to be able to hide and not have to face and break Cove and fight while the mollies are online. They need to force Loud to bring the fight to them if the spike is safe. And so getting that timing correct is really important against what Loud have.
Weaker money here. QCK, 3K in the bank. Looks like he's trying to save the operator, but for now the Sheriff will have to do, and it will. Sassy. Dusted, taken the hell out. Deep Knife clears yellow, but really, they've got nothing to try and cross and take control of B main here. Just putting that emphasis here towards this section. Vacuuming up the orbs. To defend this gun as well.
Loud are looking for information. SEN have been mixing up whether they rotate, whether they re-hit, and you can see Loud here just trying to figure out, is it correct to stack onto B? QCK looking to explore through mid. They think it's a re-hit. They're keeping players on this site.
Might be some serious danger here. I mean, 2 years just holding onto the high tide's wall. There, flash through to the back. Dart, oh my. They knew exactly the position and that was coming from, so Kawasi didn't really stand a chance up with the armor. Draft dashing away. Zekken survives. Flank attempt from QCK. Oh my goodness.
Tens is watching, but
Tens was watching.
They're going to get distracted.
They are distracted now. Their pressure really being applied. It's less here, and QCK for the cleanup. John QT is there with a trade, but 1 versus 3 now. Diffuse online for 2 years. Not been pushed away from this one. There's no more utility left available for them. So a thrifty round for Loud. That's what you want to see.
Yeah, that is just in time. What we saw on Split was the economy just getting ruined for Loud over and over. They could never build up a bank to work with. they're going to call a timeout after winning this round as well, which is a bit bizarre. Maybe the timeout...
Probably queued a little bit earlier.
Yeah, probably queued before they won the round.
Yeah.
But QCK opened this up with a beautiful Sheriff shot and then closed the entire thing too. The Cloudburst to make sure that nobody caught him getting past the alarm bot. And often that kind of thing is going to get heard. But in this situation, gets away with it.
फिर को नहीं देखना SEN वर्सेस प्लेयर्स
Information so your stacks are correct.
Maybe might see some signs of that proactivity from LOUD being called. Like you said, just trying to gain some of that mid-round information, but the comp isn't really too suited for it. I mean, you've only got the Sova as your initiator.
Yeah, you really have to do it by pushing into areas. And again, you don't really have the ability to flash re-clear spots on defense, so it can be very tough. You kind of have to double up, triple up, walk areas. And that's got its own danger. So both teams on opposite sides of the map here to start this next round. 4 players grouped up on defense on A, just pushing QCK into an aggressive angle.
I mean, this is excellent for him.
Yeah, but I mean, SEN are nowhere near.
Still, he's going to be telling his team to over-rotate. Get your asses into mid, get your asses into gear, because it's leaning over towards a B hit.
Yeah, and LOUD have actually finessed this lovely. I mean, they've managed to get into a position where SEN weren't comfortable going for the early round timing, and now LOUD have stacked it for the mid-round timing. And on top of that, QCK's watching in case things rotate back towards A.
He's in a really good spot. Drone. Oh, maybe just catching tail end of somebody.
I think they've got all the info they need, though.
Yeah, they have. With QCK pushed up deep like this, look at it, you can just tell from the stack. Already protocols in play. Molly forward, Zekin just tanks it. Half his HP just removed, but they weren't expecting it. Still, LOUD with all the kills. 2 versus 3. Sassy almost being taken out. Has to back his way to safety here. Fast flank of QCK. Might be causing some issues a little bit later into things. Now he's going to be notifying his presence, at least with the removal of that turret attack from Sadak. He's hoping that forces them out wide. Don't know if they could have took a glimpse of that one. Still 10 HP. Leave it just to Zelsis. Kova. There's no real chances here. There's no real chances. Maybe managed to get the second, but no. Full stick there from Sadak.
I think LOUD's defense on B looks way better than their defense on A, personally. Especially coming out of the LOUD Gen G game, that was my big takeaway. I think LOUD's protocols for dealing with B hits like this are actually real nice. Yeah, they missed Zekin, but they keep good snowman control. They fight from kitchen. They have good crossfires on people. Look at how Sadak, playing around orange, is able to pick up Zekin. I think SEN should be quite cautious if they're sending B hits over and over and over. The A side of the map does look more of a weakness for LOUD. They tend to play it for retake more often. The flash dizzy combo on A is just more powerful in my opinion. And SEN are going to have opportunities then to fight aggressive in the post plant to stop LOUD coming back in for the retake. I think you're definitely seeing that there are many more opportunities for LOUD to get wins here on Icebox than we saw on Split. Right? Split from SEN is perfection, but not every map is up to that kind of caliber. And LOUD are finding those ways of stopping SEN going for these hits. Now they've knocked the economy in the other direction. Did SEN even have a single eco round on Split? I don't think they did.
Feel like it.
They won the pistol both times, and then they just dominated the game. So I think this might be their first one.
Drop down to it. A couple of decisions to be made here because they do have money for potential investment of 1 rifle or so. Looks like John QT is the one who's bought that one up. Might get sold, but it looks like they should have money to spare if it goes poorly. And whatever's been called, we're probably not going to be seeing signs of it just yet. Not in this round with the weaker guns, but you know, SEN might start playing towards some of the orbs, try and earn up some big ults. Celsius will probably earn his after he goes down to a player.
And look at LOUD setting up the same kind of thing. 4 players A at the beginning, to post up some...
QCK messed that up, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say to post somebody up really deep so they have good information. And yet, that 4-player stack now just has to kind of chill and reset. But SEN are not going for anything too aggressive at the beginning of the round. They're worried. As soon as 2Es puts up this high tide, it makes it feel like there's many players ready to fight B. Even though we can see it was only 2Es at home.
Just one Dizzy clearing away. Sassy on away now from the ult. Knife being broken. Loud should have the protocols for this, but still Zekken with knives is a very dangerous target. Tagged up by the drone. Has to respect it now. Has to back away. Zelsis dropped on the other section of the map, the other side of things. Still with that plant down.
They're pitting.
They are going to be pitting, committing into
3v5.
this one. This is interesting. I mean, even though the money is a little bit wild still, now the lockdown being invested. I mean, that is absolutely crazy stuff still. Maybe feeling like it's necessary now. John QT getting into this spot and this position on top of it. Can't break it down, so detained and dealt with. Big committed with the ultimates here on either side, but it's Loud winning out. 4 players surviving.
Yeah, I think both ults that were used there probably should have been saved for another round, but the problem is the kills came through so quick, so close to the ults being invested. I think John didn't quite realize that he was in such a player disadvantaged situation when he decided to pit. And likewise with Sadak just deciding to send that one, make sure that they get the streak online. So now we go into a rifle round. Zelsis ultimate, super powerful. If they can get up onto pipes.
And this should be the round what the timeout was scored for at least. Adjustments there with a deep knife. Now very heavy emphasis and presence being shown by SEN. Sassy. Thrash movement. Looking elite. Looking to clear out the side as well for the rest of his team. Look at that. Skipping and hopping over around the side. Kawazin, he's been caught. Do they want to dive and dash onto this one? Now Sadak is his bodyguard. Doesn't... Sentinels
Sadak
over
has a wallbang angle here.
Yeah, it's a wallbang angle with a pit drop down on top of it. Lockdown though. Should push him out of position. After potentially it to clear, but Les might just go down with the ship. He might just opt to getting detained. QCK. He's wrapped all the way behind him, and yeah, he will get detained just so that this pit stays up, but he's spammed onto the top rifler's position. Dropping down. Crucial kill here onto the flank. Zelsis cleans that one up, so no gaps now left into the play. Hunter's Fury offloaded. Really just going to be utilized to try and push at these players from Loud into these forward positions. And they have managed to even it up ever so slightly, but still a player disadvantage. Molly, we're waiting for it to fade with Mosh down now. Dizzy on top of it with the Cove. Now stacking up all together. Post-plant utility should be good enough here for Sentinels. Now players realize it. They're the ones who have to make the moves forwards. Kawazin in 2 years. That is just disgusting.
That looked like a checkmate situation. SEN were running out of post-plant utility, sure, but they still had a crossfire from 3 different areas that they could have set up.
There's no way.
And yet through the high tide, through 2Es' util, Kawazin, the hero for Loud in map 1, though the efforts didn't get him anywhere. This time putting rounds on the board. Yeah, Kaplan's going to be annoyed about that, but I don't really think that SEN misplayed it too much. Kawazin just hit some really nice counter spam through the high tide and then got a sick shot on a jump peak.
Yeah, sometimes it be like that.
Yeah.
Loud. Only creeping forwards with this lead here.
Yeah, look at how mobile they are with QCK's positioning. He gets another one. That's excellent.
Yeah, okay.
They played him over towards A. Last round he walked down Tube. This time he's over towards B. So difficult to predict.
Middle though with an ult command. Plant. Oh, hello. Counter spam. Kawazin dropped. Still have to worry about this operator.
That was actually through mid.
That was way! He skewered them! Tench dropped to his knees. There's no chance in hell he's being picked up. And now, plenty of time and space brought for the rest of these Loud boys to really get into the action. Auxiliaries are here. Wide face by Zelsis. Traded though. Dropped down. And John QT again isolated in this 1 versus 2 position. Familiar scenes for him. The reload surely going to be heard. And yes, Les is very quick onto the angle with the punish.
What a round from QCK. Very similar to the Thrifty that got them started on this map. Takes an early angle, hits the shot, and then he's there to punish. This is now 5 in a row for Loud to really get the gears going.
I was talking about the attack side for both of these teams being good, but I mean, so far it's clearly Loud are the ones who have stepped up. Won't go quietly into the night. That is a disgusting shot. QCK with his op.
Zekin's Achilles heel.
Yeah. Barely tagging onto him.
So Loud, they have found something that's worked, which is QCK's op, and now they've given it to Cowanzine.
Just to mix it up. If QCK gets spotted now, still, he's rattled off the shots. Ended up using the dash. Where has that kill come from? I mean, unless this is
pushed up on
literally the same as what he did in the pistol round. I mean, he went for this aggressive push on that initial round, man. He's taking matters into his own hands. Does not care. Worth a damn 3 fall.
What a beautiful bait and switch setup from Cowanzine and Les as well. Such an unusual one with the Sova opping.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like a Loud that is very, very angry.
Yeah.
Pod and poke the bear.
And frankly, it wasn't necessary for Les to go and do that. When they've already won 5 rounds in a row and the game plan's working, does Les need to force those fights and take the 1v1s? No, but he's Les. He's Les. He does just have these moments where he decides to take over a game. And he's been pushing up on A looking for that duel, but Zelsis has not been giving it to him. If they're B defaulting and they leave Zelsis with the Killjoy utility on A, Zelsis plays it really safe. And John just took a jiggle there and decided he liked the idea of stepping up. I don't know why you would. 12 and 3 less.
This guy, I mean, he gets sorely underestimated by a variety of people coming into it. I mean, he doesn't play the most flashy roles, but you can't deny his individual talent, his skill.
And now SEN on a weird buy, looking like they want to just set up for that default A hit. Get TenZ up over on 2 pipes, where he's got that flash angle.
Turret broken in mid.
Oh, the flash.
This.
Actually, not in the right spot.
Really deep flash now. I mean, Les decided to take the re-peek. Dizzy shot fired straight into the wall there. Zekin wins it out though. Molly's dealt with. Accounted for. Now you're going to see it. The Reckoning pressing forwards with the advantage. They've got Loud. Not giving up any space. They want to take it right back away from them. And already you can see it at deep position. Weaker guns and weaponry still. Maybe SEN could make something of it. Again, the triangle of death set up. This time though, Thrash taking that first contact. Zelsis winning that fight. The adjustment and snap to the side. And retaking now with his operator just becomes a dire situation. And Zelsis is running a mockery over them. Taking liberties when he's on low HP. So why not? He can do it. Not planted for Sassy. Tapping. Sadak over and around. Spotted. 1. Sassy dropped. Sadak now for time, surely. Working against in the jump spot. The jiggle, John QT. Trying to gamble and dice with death himself here all the way through. That is immaculately played.
John with another clutch. So similar to his situation on Split where we saw him play against Cowanzine and Les. Beautifully done there. But I do think overall SEN are giving Loud way too much space in these post plans. If Zelsis hadn't been able to get those 2 kills and open things up, I think SEN might have been in trouble again. Yeah. Most teams when they play against the Harbor Viper,
let's go, boys. Let's go.
They're trying to get aggressive in post-plant situations and stop them before they get into retake spots. SEN are backing off and trying to play post-plant utility. But if they can secure this round, it's looking good. Double orb, QCK and Cowanzine.
Kidding me. You are kidding me. Top of the rafters. QCK is obviously on the other side of the map, just trying to lock down at B angle, but the lockdown now indicates everything. At least it should.
Another problem with this composition, you have no way of dealing with the lockdown. You don't have molly lineups.
Backing out, no detainment. Fast with the high tide. Cuts this one up. Mosh pit into the back now. This time SEN fighting to and nail! But you're up against Cowanzine. John QT! Where's he pulled that one from? Out of nowhere! On top of the ropes, the pit has been earned. 88 health to his name. He just needs to survive. The spray down, and he's already hunting them down. Les, with him toppling, Ace on the cars. The crowd wants it. The people are chanting. QCK spotted out wide. Will his team give him anything? Not quite still. Round earned, a round gained. And SEN will be happy with that. That's a salvage situation when his half was looking so damn poor.
And round 11, round 12, the player to salvage it is John. What a beautiful spray transfer there. And then getting the 3rd on the rope too. All coming off the back of winning the 1v1 clutch. To get SEN up to 4, well, he's done it to get him to 5.
That's crazy stuff. Honestly, really
Jeez.
Important pistol round coming up.
Yeah, a very, honestly, a huge one. And SEN have won every pistol so far in this series. So if they're able to get another one on the board here, that's just been such a phenomenal advantage for them to work with the entire time. Les, he's picked up a Sheriff. LOUD are one of the teams that buy Sheriffs the most in these pistol situations. Often there's 2 players on the team with them.
Just trying to take those long-range fights, Celsius. In prior rounds, teammates dancing and dicing with death, but with that jiggle, always a chance, isn't it, that it goes poorly. He's going to be backing his way up to kitchen.
The reclear here from Sassy and Zekken. They had a cascade in their face early on, and now they've realized that that was fake pressure. A good gamble to take. And they've got a little bait and switch set up here. Kind of blocked by the wall, though.
Yeah, I mean, there's no going to be any swings coming out for here. Sassy needs to get one, but yeah, like I said, no trade in sight. Zekken, dash, activated.
Yeah, that's just wasted. And he was expecting more pace towards that. Sadak's called that pause in the round.
And holding for a repush.
Yeah, I mean, Zekken's already re-cleared this area once in the round. LOUD are ready for it.
Zekken's now going to be pushing to this one and done angle. Now that the dash that we talked about prior is gone. LOUD, we're going to have to clear this one. Bodies might do it. Surely, Ghost moment, not getting away with too much more still. 1 for 1. Drop down, Celsius. Taking up space back towards the backside of Yellow. Might need some supportive util though, and Tens is the one holding it. So, flash, repeat, timing. Needs it now, needs help right now, and he's got it. The follow through from the rest of them. Those reinforcements, jump, spot, and peek. Les, he's taking them all out. 7 seconds remaining. Molly has to stick it through here for Sadak with that plan. It's the only way he goes down to it. Right. Leaves it just up to Les. 1 versus 1. Viper versus Viper.
They should know that Les is this week.
Should have been cool.
This Sentinels Classic could do work here.
Time to put it to the test. Lot to clear though for John QT. Thankfully, he's got a bit of time on his side. Contacting, spots it. That's now going to be dropping. Orb propped up. How does John choose to play it? Here's those shots. Spots it out on the right click business. Done and dusted. Wipe your hands of that one. Pistol round here for Sentinels.
Did not look good for them at the beginning of this round.
Did not.
And Celsius has pulled it back with some great supportive utility coming through from Tens.
John QT.
SEN really abusing the slower pace of LOUD there. LOUD had multiple opportunities in the round where they could have gone forwards as a team and cleared out a solo player on B. Because they took so long dealing with Zekken, and I mean this util also perfection. Putting pressure on the clock. But yeah, because they took so long dealing with Zekken, that allowed Celsius to tuck into Yellow.
Nice!
And like I said, Bren, this is 4 out of 4 pistols, 1 for Sentinels. And this is going to get them back into this map. It's an enormous advantage, especially because it offers you opportunities to keep that momentum going with a bonus.
Clear ideas. Very clear ideas. I mean, here, Zekken, Outlaw. Sees the jump. Spots just baited out for the shot wide, and QCK just didn't really realize that he was already pushed up on that left-hand side, so he's earned himself an upgrade.
Yeah, nobody for Zekken to play off. That's a really bold angle. He was expecting LOUD to be playing more slowly.
Sadak not willing to give away his life to the Molly once more for the plant, so moving that util out.
2 of these players will die to a one-shot from the Outlaw.
They're not watching for it. Over the top there, that's the Ghost gameplay occurring right now. Out wide, Tens seeking to reclaim a bit of that territory, a bit of that ground, and he has slowed it down enough for the spike to be dropped down, but it is a 2 versus 3. This is the danger zone right now. The Verge are getting thriftied. you said, a single shot will do it. You've essentially handed over the operator to QCK.
Yeah. It looks like a save, to be honest, but they're still going to try and fight over it. Wow. There are still opportunities and danger here.
You slipped the map.
TenZ is making an enormous wraparound unless it's gone into Snowman. This is such a bizarre round.
And John QT's backs to the wall, all about the timing. No way! As Lesser finds it. And the gamble, the wraparound here of TenZ has to pay off. It has to pay off massively, but it's not going to be planted out wide. Les, does he even acknowledge it? The reload is heard here. Close. Quarters again. Cuts it up into the angle. 1 versus 1, but it really should never have been here. In the first place, Knife tags it. That was a wrong positioning as the wall fades. The head is collected.
That is a crucial one for TenZ to win. What a play! I mean, both Les and TenZ getting value out of the play that they went for. But for TenZ to go for that flank all the way through mid, wrapping back around quietly the whole time, and not have clock pressure because of John being able to deny the plant. And the spike went walkabouts into Snowman. Could not have gone better, the timing in that round for TenZ.
Crazy round. And despite SEN winning,
round,
it was really expensive. Yes, they carried a 1 rifle through, but they're opting to just take a full eco.
Nice! Yeah. And so, a really bizarre start to this half.
Yeah.
SEN win the pistol. You expect them to get up the momentum that they have done on every other half that we've watched so far. And instead, they're taking an eco after winning the round.
That needs to be dealt with here. What a snap to the side. QCK deleted off the face of the map. It is responded in kind here. Sadak, but cheeky there with the peaks over the top here. Just trying to play on top of 410. Drops down the Nana Swarms, making sure that nobody can play forwards. He does have the spike. Let's get his plan down.
A little bit of damage done, but not too bad. Yeah. Love that cove too. You can plant in a number of positions where it's very helpful. And LOUD are looking to try to play a little further forwards than we saw from the post plants of Sentinels. You know, fighting on top of 410 with 2Es ready to swing. They've got 2 layers to this, really.
Oh, deactivated. Nice cooldown. A lot of util offloaded from SEN just to try and clear that back of the side. But again, time is of the essence, and with the Nanoswarm deaded already, it's running out wildly. It's not a luxury they have whatsoever. No one's even forcing a tap onto the spike here. There's a gap into the wall. TenZ out wide and open. Man, this is just madness. Sadak, what are you getting away with?
Shooting fish in a barrel. You can see SEN had no idea there that Sadak could see the spike. I mean, it turns red when it's being diffused. Sadak knows exactly where it's being diffused from. Boom. Headshots. And the fact that LOUD were given those kills towards the end, and this has been a bit of a stretched out beginning to the half, they're building up to some big ultimates.
Yes, they are.
The Harbor ult is excellent for being able to take more aggressive control of a site. You know, if you're SEN here cooking up a game plan, I think you want to be going for like flash reclears to disrupt this before the big execute comes through. Maybe that's what SEN are planning with both of the flash initiators and Zekken playing A. But at the moment, 2Es heading B for that classic cascade at the start of the round.
Early turret broken. Now LOUD regrouping over towards A.
And this is where I'd love to see Zekken posted up on pipes and trying to get some kind of flash aggression going. Because I think if you give space to LOUD, this execute is going to be difficult to hold on against.
Drone going to be hurt. One tag down to Sassy, backs him away. Top belts seen and spotted. Dash to get himself out of there. Reckoning now will clear the way through for the rest of LOUD to follow all the way through. Stuns, not really being respected. I mean, Zekken is just trying to really get the most out of it there, and he is finally punished. So they'll come out fast off the rim, pushing forward. So they're going to expect this. QCK is already behind the man, already behind him, playing up with the rest of his team. And 3 players fall just like that, dropped to the ground, to your knees. If you are TenZ in this case, and Celsius for Celsius. 1v4. Last one left. Decision being made for him, really. Has to be the save, just has to do some exit damage, but even economical damage doesn't do that much.
No, it doesn't. I mean, LOUD are building up a nice economy. They've got a great game plan, and SEN are not playing disruptively enough. LOUD are just getting to play their own tempo, their pace. They could never really get a grapple on that on split. They were always trying to force fights in mid, and SEN were never letting them. That time, the patience and the slow slow play really rewarded SEN. And on this map, I feel like they need to be getting a little more up in Loud's face, trying to utilize the strengths of this composition, which are the flashes to go for those mid-round re-clear timings. But when Loud are given space, you see how difficult it was. Though Zekken tried for him to get a timing around the Harbor ult there. And then when Loud are set up in these aggressive post-plant spots, their players, they can shoot, man. Yeah. They can shoot. The buy in this round, very similar to round 15. You know, everyone on pistols apart from one player with a rifle.
So with the money chunked down, in theory, you're expecting Loud again to just keep stringing these rounds together. Danger starts building. Hello. Through the wall just in case, but Dash to respect it. The trouble is here, I mean, Loud, you got to think, going to be probably able to get themselves a plan.
Only Zekken seen both times, even though there's a stack here.
There's a flash re-peek as well with a Dizzy, but the wall in their face as well. It just gives that covering fire for Sadak. Using through, not too sure how that kill was found. Sadak, at least sassy with this reposition. Close now, tries to face it. Again, there's just too many numbers to overcome. The advantage is Loud here. I mean, they've just picked them apart. It's methodical in nature. As I was saying earlier, I mean, it earns them up to a couple of key ultimates. Lockdown now for Sadak to use for the next.
Yeah. And sometimes it can be such flowchart Valorant on this map.
Yeah.
Because...
और क्या शेयर करना वेरी गुड फिर क्या वाली कोई 500 तक तैयारी कर एटलीस्ट 500 क्या वो लगेज में जाएगा दादा हाँ तो वो हाथ में रख या बैग में सेवन मतलब जीजी हो गया है
So much better this round than what we've been seeing so far. So Tens throws a nade lineup as he hears the drone coming through, which allows him to have denial of the plant pressure at the same time as flashing through the wall, which is sick. Those kind of timings, beautiful. It's also then, there's a mosh onto the plant position too. Let's go! Let's go, boys! So much utility pressure in that round. A lot better from what we've been seeing. And it's stumped Loud.
Yeah. Not wanting to go down quietly here. Dart dealt with.
A little bit of miscommunication there. Zekken wasn't sure that it was going to get broken, that Tens could see it.
Knife. Tagged.
This is the first time we've seen someone trying to play an aggressive position on pipes.
Should give the indicator. I mean, Tens has no way to get out of this one. There's too many spots to really account for. And well, for what? It's messy. It's real damn messy. Luckily, Zekken is still here and collects. Two on the board now. Maybe a chance for Sentinel to really set themselves up in an advanced position. It's been one of the first times. Yet Sadak says, not quite. He does something to say about it. Let's bring it into a 3v3 now with that util finally respected. Sadak pushed away once more, and it's about bleeding it out. Another tap online this time. In the wingman. Over the top. Into the fight. Hello. Just not quite seeing that one. Over the top. Below him. Does not anticipate it, but guess what? His teammates did. Swinging at precisely the right moments. So they're not out of it just yet. Not a long shot.
No, these last two rounds have been lovely from Sen. If they keep playing like this, there are certainly chances for them here. You see this from Zekken's perspective again. They hit two great shots there. But also, the defensive utility is lovely. They're throwing great util to stop the plant going down, and then they're finding a timing to then flash and pop back out to re-fight Loud. When Loud don't really have utility available. Sadak anticipated it, fell back, but they didn't win the duels. This is aggressive.
Yeah, time to show some disrespect, and he does get the value from it.
Sadak playing that spot way more aggressively than Celsius was too, offering himself up as a pick.
और पॉइंट बस भाई गेम पे बैठा है.
Some kind of play based off the Hunter's Fury. I think it's going to be difficult, especially when Tens is holding knife for anything like that.
Yeah, for Loud, I mean, you can feel they're trying to bait out these aggressive reclears.
Yep.
Just why, you know, the pump fake, waiting, throwing out a high tide, seeing if they flash through the wall and try and fight through it, but...
Yeah, you've got to make the timings as difficult as possible for
so much exposed. I mean, you've seen it. You've seen it. He is exposed, though. You are right. Many chances for him to be Swung from a multitude of angles. It's all about the reactions. Now, yes, he still has a dash, but it's not active. Here he goes. Dart has to cover himself. His own footsteps there away from it. Go for the reswing now across. He saws him over the road, but he couldn't adjust the aim in time. Zelsis spamming and spraying and a bit of praying. Let's get the job done there with the removal onto 2 years. Kawazin, though, will not be pushed back and away. And QCK is his time to come alive. Over the top of rafters. Risks necessary in this spot, especially when you're a player down.
The Pit invested in a 3v4 here.
That's dirty.
It does cover the spike.
Yeah, look at that. Stretches all the way over towards it, and he still has 2 snake bites as well. That will put the time pressure now onto Sentinels. This could be the 12th round for LOUD. It's about how they navigate it. It's about how they sail through. A tap forwards now. What is the next wave of things? QCK, trade it. Now sticking though, already there. That's going to be the wingman, putting that pressure onto a Hunter's Fury, skipping a hop over to the top. And well, it's just been stuck in the middle of all of it.
Round win.
That's incredible! Dude, Wingman does not take additional damage from the Pit being there, and they just assumed that it did. They didn't deal with Wingman the entire time.
क्या हुआ? Replay दिखाओ.
When you're dealing with a player, the combination of Pit and the vulnerable is just devastating. You can do nothing about that. But the Wingman he doesn't care about it.
He is no man. He does not care.
Bro. Sliggy losing his mind.
Nice! Oh my goodness.
Keep guns. Off back rafter if you can get it. Actually, no, it's not.
Calm and collected though. We're straight back into things here, but Sen wrestling off the rounds now, really making it almost even here. One step away from 11 to 11.
And yeah, Sen's ult bank is just huge. They found so much more value out of being able to
भाई 1 2 3 4 ult है.
Perhaps with a little bit of luck involved too, but they got themselves a player advantage beforehand anyway. Zekan's been spotted. What does that do to Sadak's calling here?
Try and speed it up, or do you want to go in a different direction? It looks like they want to just try and tackle it into A. Now, Zekan didn't use his dash again. Important to know that one, because now as that U2 goes flying, still he's looking for the shot, can adjust it. Time, still just sees the shoulder, but has to finally back away. Doesn't want to get punished for that one with the count to spam. A tap from Sadak. Get himself into the cove, locked down.
Love that. Early timing on the lockdown stops LOUD from setting up to break it. And it's also not positioned over towards screens. Yes, it doesn't go as deep, but Zelsis is going to make sure that there aren't people playing these aggressive post-plant positions.
Throws them out and away. They deal with the util, and how do they deal with these players? Zekan just wants to take up the straight-up fight, attack. Baiting it out now. Nade, a bit short and shy off the mark there. Still damage is being done to a multitude of players. Only 3 left standing for LOUD, but again, anyone could win it. You just have to rely on a bit of that RNG. Zek, tens, pushing with the operator. Sadak still stands. Have on it, they don't have it. Still, John has got to stick it now. And a tap with the rifle, or praise. Praying from 2 years. Sentinels, barely there with 2 seconds just over.
They look in control, though, of these retake situations, which is something that we weren't seeing from them in those spree of 4 rounds between 15 and 18 that LOUD got online. And the lockdown is so nice from Zelsis. Teams have come up with protocols to be able to deal with the lockdown that's over towards screens. They have a player up aggressive, or they have some kind of, nade combo. Sadak has lineups for it, too. But throwing that out in a different position over towards Heaven, and yeah, it's not optimized, but
ऐसे की भाई शेमड़े और Castino del Sol. Sen Wingman तो है. Sassy Wingman carrying Sassy.
Bringing it to a team like LOUD, 11 to 11. Still with the Viper's Pit, still with a Thrash.
And all of this without Zekan really finding too much value from the operator in the last couple of rounds, right? He's trying to take the timings and he's finding good openings, but he's not landing the shots. Here it looks like he wants to try and take this timing instantly underneath the tube, aiming for less.
Drops down, only sees the turret.
It's the turret, actually.
Yeah. A drone Utilized by Loud though. It's going to be
तीन लोग हैं
taking the space for the lockdown.
नहीं नहीं
Feels like a
don't
B hit. Should be a B hit. Second. Where are you going? Where are you going? With 4 seconds left, is this being held for? Yes. Look at that awareness. Jump spot, jiggle peek. Holy! Updraft dash, but he cannot escape it. Sadek was hot on the heels. Set to punish it. Deep dart now. Thrash being used just off the initial
भाग
tap here,
गए
but
ये भाग गए
can't really spot anything at all. In fact, no detainments because QCK, again, lurking up through. Spots it out with a nano swarms. Broken, both of them.
Celsius has a timing to try to disrupt this.
Les gets dropped.
So now it's going to be a 4v4.
Backside gained. Plan for Sadek. Not going to be pushed away this time. Moshpit just a little bit too delayed and late. It's going to be setting themselves up potentially in a favoured counter here with the retake of Sentinels. Jump spot, just seeing, but he does back away. So now with the alarm bot, bit of spam, a bit of spray. It's a pop flash play. Tens, man! He's taking it to him. Damage done though. Had the knife out. Wasn't expecting that follow up, especially with 2 years there. But what can he really do in this spot? V3. Have to find one of the fights, and Celsius isn't keen on giving him it. Now Sassy sticking half already. Options dwindling. It's a high-low face. And that is up to 12 now for Sentinels. This
one
is
more
an absolutely incredible resurgence from this team on this map in particular. I mean, they're looking to seal this one up in 2.
I think Loud played a great round there as well, and the SEN retake was too much for them. 3 rounds in a row now. The flash to be able to catch QCK is lovely, and then SEN players playing high-low positions.
I love it. Even if it didn't work, I love that you wanted to be.
Yeah, it's great.
Communication, just on point. Every time we get a little sneak peek at the replays.
Yeah, and SEN 5 rounds in a row to be able to get up to match point and set up a date with Gen G.
Aggressive. Here it is. Adjustment not there in time. He just tried to flick to the side. It was actually Tens who was the one who went down there to a bit of random spam. Updraft and away. Back in. Got to respect now at a reckoning.
It's incredible that SEN are winning these rounds while the early fights are going so terribly for them.
Sadai with the plan. Not going to be pushed back. You got to think now. Loud, again, surely set up for success. But I said that last time. It was SEN who ended up taking it, but this time there's a player disadvantage. Doubled up, shoulder to shoulder, round to the back. 2 years showing presence. A little jiggle and offset there with a movement, but not going to expect Kawazine. And he's still here, alive and kicking. Weaving in and out, dodging, juking, playing with his team, spraying them all the way through overtime on the cards.
Finally, Loud able to get that round that's been eluding them for so long. And we're treated to an overtime. Huge performance from Loud, not allowing their resolve to crumble. A reminder, we've obviously never had that 2-0 between these teams this year. We've had more back and forth occurrences. That little resurgence from SEN has taken us to a spot where it does look like a possibility, unless Loud can dig deep.
Yeah, revisiting it. Of course, it was Loud, you know, they won that one 2-0 in their initial matchup in 2024. Fought back immediately by SEN in the finals where they took it an absolute barn burn. I mean, it was a map 5 world-class game from both of these teams. Pushed once more.
Revealing area.
Dart. Broken. QCK forwards position as the sides are switched around. We know he's been getting aggressive. The question is, SEN gonna pushed away from this now with a Dizzy. Didn't even really connect him. He was so close to the corner, but he doesn't land the shot, so backs away. Showing presence there with the operator. He wants a second go at things. Sassy, not expecting it. The rest allowed, backing him up still. It's sprayed and messy. It's all over the bloody place. 2 left to stand here from Sentinels.
Gonna be a difficult situation for John and Celsius to recover. Do they know that everybody is here? I'm not sure they've seen Sadak. John, though, picking up that ult orb, 1 away from getting a pit online. If there was an ult that could turn this round, it would be that one. They've got to be concerned about the wall. Les can drop it at any point to try to set up the double face.
Doubled up side by side, top rafters, 2 years. Important one to win was Elsis dropping. John QT sends the nade, flying, the molly there. Just can't quite land the kill. He now has pit. He does have the pit, but does he choose to offload it? Of course he does, it's OT. Now drops it down. Evacuating the one angle, but over the top of the ropes. Doesn't expect 2 years.
Good try, nice catch by Tui's. John was thinking about just slipping away.
Match point.
But Loud after getting that recovery in round 24, now put themselves up to map point. QCK going for the force buy. The glass cannon operator ended up getting some of that value. You can see John looks gutted. He wasn't able to pull that one off. So we're going into it. SEN kept at 12. Second is going for the same thing, the glass cannon op. They have not found success with this particularly. But they've been winning anyway. A lot of those defensive rounds towards the end.
I know Loud, they set their sights over towards B. Ah, that's no way. The spam.
Very
Nearly
close.
tagging him up, draft over the top. That's QCK. Wonderful punish onto the corner. Even more where that came from. As the rest of his team, this is it. Set up for success. Set up for map 3. And you got to think it. It's inevitable on top of the ropes. How is he accurate there? Running and gunning, but 10's dealt with. Dropped. And a retake with the op. It's a fairy tale moment for Second. It will have to be. And he doesn't expect it. The wrap there. So 14-12. Loud.
चलो मैप 3 है मैप 3 है
Match found. Death match. Warm up.
bragging rights if you get first pick.
Fight!
Let's get this done.
सनसेट है ना अभी लोटस है सनसेट है
Dominating.
Hostile KIA. Radiant kill. Kill confirmed. Catch this. Astra's dead. You want a piece of this?
ओमेन बायो बराबर बराबर
10 kills remaining.
Astra's dead.
उसी के लिए शिट डाउन बता दे
Target 86. Astra's dead.
5 kills remaining.
Obstacle removed.
One kill remaining.
And remember, in a game this...
Watching for the lurks through mid. And Sentinels on this pistol try to do something very similar. They insert Zekken deep up mid, create a distraction elsewhere, and try to get value with Zekken creeping through. Sadak is always wary of that kind of stuff. And here, Sen forced to try to fight a bit more aggressive in the post plant. Just couldn't quite find it, just got squeezed. Having said that though, with the kills that Sen got online, they're looking to try to force into the next.
I feel like the money's good enough.
And they got quite a few kills. I mean, 3 kills plus the plant. It's not a bad buy.
What direction do you take it into? Looks like mid, the initial goal, slow and steady.
This is a real gamble though. If it doesn't pay off for Sen, they're going to give Loud so much momentum in terms of the economy, the ultimates. You know, QCK might well have the ult online at the end of this. He's got to pick up the ult orb on A.
Breaking the door with the pistols. Trying to avoid notifying Loud that they have forced up into this. Dizzy wide with the flash. It's all connected together. QCK has to respect that one, just backing for now. Drone doesn't clear
it. Didn't clear Zekken again. This spot is such a blind spot in the way that Loud are playing mid. That's wild.
There's major chances for Zekken to just, again, creep his way in there.
But like I'm saying, Bren, EDG tried this kind of setup where, you know, they cause the distraction and get a lurk. And Sadak or Kawanzi just shut it down every time.
40 seconds, barely. Just drifting away here. Boombot. Use the flash, all in conjunction. Now to Dizzy, all the way through market. Nothing to really stand their ground, but Lester's still going to try and do it otherwise. ADS firing them down as well. The bullet tag's just slowing them ever so slightly. Enough for Sadak to get that one, but a plan. Now down here for Sen, no pushback from it, so they can start to play this post plan. But do they really want to do this? Just with the stingers. It's like an awkward one to try and play into, especially when Kawazin has almost all of his util. A few more seconds left, and he will have the fault line, but there it is. Sends out the aftershock, out wide, forces Celtics, no kill. Paranoia used in response to this one, and a second flash sets them back up with a deep smoke after really forcing Loud to push forwards into this one. A tap onto it again. Stunned up inside the smoke, damage done. Kawazin still lives on 21 health. Diffusing now, Sadak onto half. Has to be dealt with, has to be brought down. Sticking it through, and no damage, not enough. Oh, with the stingers, that's barely scraping through.
Sadak's on the defuse, he got headshot by a stinger and he just tanked it.
Yeah, did not care.
He just shrugged it off. Look at this, you see the stars sprinkling up around his head. He's got full confidence in the rest of the team. It is so difficult to cover the diffuser in that situation when there's a flank coming from Market and TenZ throws that smoke, you just kind of get stuck inside of it. But wow, Loud now, having navigated that round and all the danger it posed, are going to be set up quite nicely at the beginning of this.
Doesn't really matter about Divide too much. 2 players spotted from the cam. Fast is the call here for Sentinels. Looking for a couple of kills, but out wide, too much. Zelsis and QCK. The target you really want to be prioritizing these kills onto when he gets his ult online, which he already does. I mean,
yeah, he already had it.
For it.
John's just looking to do what damage he can. But Loud's economy is going to be looking good. Their ults are starting to come online too. So the gamble that Sen went for, it's difficult to assess in hindsight because we're only seeing it having failed, but really there was a lot of danger there in round 2. Possibilities for them.
You think if it works out, listen, Sen got on the other foot when it comes to the ult cycle. Yeah. Start building them up ahead of them. They have the economy on their side, but
simply not the reality we live in though, and that's the first time that Sen have gone down early in a half. Remember, they won the pistols every other time across Split and Icebox. So this is a new situation where Loud are the ones able to develop some even footing for themselves. Dizzy just to see whether anybody's trying to contest into mid.
And interestingly enough, I mean, 2 years has opted for the operator. There was a deep dart set up earlier, so he's got this deep line down into A. He's going to be giving a lot of mid-round information again to his team. Doesn't have to worry about 1 or 2 of the angles though. Being swung, but they're not going to expect it. Yeah, look at it.
No way.
Walking straight into it.
Leaning on his history as a duelist player there, Tuiz, and he's absolutely finessed that. Does he anticipate TenZ being up top, though, inside the one-way?
Maybe a punish in sight here. 2 players left. Will the smoke fade in time? Still
This
waiting
is bizarre.
for it. It is bizarre. It's a flash. Repeat now. Out wide! What is that? Kawazine! He was leaping across. Paranoia! Tap from TenZ with the movement on the bullets in the end. Still, QCK dropped back to 30 health. Now, heal himself back up. Could play into this one with the ult. Might even choose to do so. See if it makes a real difference here. But Sassy does have his ult back online. Picks up from Brian. Here it is. The second round of things. Thrash. Spawn. Broken to pieces. Clear the close left corner, but still. TenZ, who does want to just try and take a fight there. John QT tucked as well. A lot to clear in this spot. And just walking right over him, QCK. There's that tray with the pop flash now. In and out and through, but still with a util in his hands. Caught lacking and slacking.
But QCK did not go for the ultimate in that spot, right? So Loud still have it available to them into the next. They decided not to invest, thought they weren't favored enough, and have kept that. So the bonus round doing a little bit of damage, not too much. A lot of it coming down to that play from TenZ.
Oh yeah.
His Omen on this map is so creative and flashy. It's wild. Well, I thought there was a good chance he was going to just pick up everybody there.
Yeah, looked like maybe a few more bullets he could have done it, but
yeah.
He's just that guy when it comes to this map on the Omen.
So pretty classic defensive setup here for Loud with QCK and Kawazine holding over towards A. They do have 3 or 4 different defensive setups that they like to cycle through. And Sen trying to figure out which one they're going for is important. Loud also love going to the switch and closing the door in mid. It's something that they prioritize all the time, whether it's less or Tuiz doing it. And you can hear it now. It's just gone down. That gives Sen some information.
Fault line.
Yeah, force out the fault line early. Somewhat early in the round.
Yeah. Trouble is with the door being closed down in her face, it does force Sen to just go back, double back, break it. Throw it in like they could be defaulting into a different direction. This
pause in the round
of a crossfire.
This pause in the round is really going to incentivize risks from QCK and Kawazine.
You can hear it. He's lacking the info. He's jump spotting. He's punished for it.
I know exactly. TenZ has cleared out the whole of Elbow with his ult.
Or Theft as well, give that additional confirmation. Now the smoke's going to drop down, play it down, will be the plant. Sentinels get themselves into it here with a player advantage. Now's the time to shine. Don't count Loud out too much just yet though. Grouped up together, nade. Ooh, it's a bit of a blunder. Can't swing into that one, it was anticipated for him. Paranoia in front of it, Sadak, he had to be the playmaker there and he was not. Drop down, now a flash of their own. TenZ repositions on top of Jenny. Vulnerable, snake bite. Goodness me.
Everyone on Loud saving.
Yeah.
They just don't even want to get back into this. A blunder from Zelsis, sure. But TenZ then anticipated that they would try to follow up on that, sent the paranoia through, and was able to isolate the duel onto Sadak. SEN have got enough players who understand the rhythm of the game and can make plays like that to try to turn situations in their favor. And that early economical advantage that Loud had to work with, it's getting chipped away at here.
It is. I mean, this is
Really
essentially...
is.
I mean, two of the players can't be buying.
Yeah. And just seeing that on the replay again, it's such a large punish onto QCK. And it's all due to that freeze that John Cutie calls into the round. They force out the fault line, and then they freeze everybody, group up A main, and look to try to punish the info peak. It's so similar to how they were approaching their split attack side with the real slow, patient game. At some point, Loud need info on defense.
That's when the punishes come through. Different combination with a util being used. This time Dizzy up in the air, flash through into elbow.
And it's all fake presence. As Sentinels quickly, after going for their default utility, group up on B. They shouldn't be too worried about B main with the door being closed.
Probably looking for an orb on Zelsis. Or online, we'll be able to go for the B pop. Or not. Just avoiding it.
It's not as important against the Cyclist comp.
Yeah. It's true. Now the nades and flashes do go flying though with a satchel play. Sets up second deep into the angle. Decay damage kicking in, almost getting brought down himself. He's on 60 health. He's going to be a thorn in their side though when this retake starts to come online for Loud.
Yeah, he's very isolated.
Very isolated. Smoke to play in. Wants to try and get in and rule that angle over the top. Now a reflank from mid, but already it's traded equally.
The timing actually here from John looks fairly good.
Yeah, he has to potentially get a move on, but it's up to the rest of his team, I think, to
He might
dissuade
catch
and
the
push them
Phoenix
back. Yeah, Paranoid's there, and he does catch it. QCK just alive no longer. Deep cam round the back. Loud left really scrambling, looking for options, and they've decided to take the fight! Force him to win! 10 wins that! Get out of here! Still no tap onto it. The pressure's mounting, incredibly so. 2 years facing with all the kills. You're joking, but the pressure too much.
No! What a bonkers round!
What is that?
What an absolutely ludicrous round. Loud did such a good job of putting pressure forwards into B main. That's where most of the post plant on B is going to come from, is this battle about who can dominate B main control. And Loud really did a great job of that. Being able to... I mean, they should have been able to catch TenZ earlier.
Let's go.
But the flank timing coming in from John, and TenZ and John buying so much time, ending that round in such a weird fashion.
TenZ is throwing good.
Bizarre set of circumstances. Be hitting a bit of a repeat here for Sentinels.
Unless is looking to challenge B main early on.
Holding the angle, but actually, fuel going to be fading. What is that? Just pre-aiming, anticipating it for seconds. So tight to the angle there.
Very confident too.
Necessary kill for him. He's not having a great start to this map, but let's get back onto the board with that one at least.
Kawansi went and took the alt orb over towards A, so he now has the Rolling Thunder online.
Second, an initial tap, but now going to be sticking it for the plant. Does have his ult online now for it. Here's the Rolling Thunder. Back into them. Showstopper to use. There's a bit of a reaction into this one. And second, his whole goal is to really slow this one down. TP dodging out of the way. On top of the box, they're going to expect this one to drone. We'll see it. Tags him up. So eventually, TenZ will be spotted into this one and done spot. And QCK through the wall, favored for it. That's the wallbang angle on top of it now. It's an interesting fight to be taken. John QT turns it into a 2 versus 2. 2 tagged up by the knife, but just a tap onto the head. Spots it now, Celsius. So much more in this position. Sadak feeling frantic in nature.
Does he have it?
I don't know. I don't know. Did he get onto it in time?
It's so close.
Oh my goodness.
These rounds are coming down to fractions of a second. And despite John's best efforts, Sadak's able to win that one in the 1v1. A little bit more patience from Zelsis would have done it. Oh, gonna be kicking himself. He can't offer Loud opportunities like that. You can see Sadak wasn't even sure.
With how tightly contested these rounds have been, I mean, the economy's taking a bit of a tumble. dodgy buys across the board.
Kangzin and QCK dominate A main to start this round out. That allows them to build up towards the Phoenix ult. Second and Tens are looking to try to explore mid again. They haven't done this in a while.
Hello, ult to try and fake the presence over towards A, maybe even pin to some of these players. And yeah, they're just barreling all the way through into mid. There's a nade! Watched it! Celtics still here. JunQT though, they're just trying to dominate this one singular position. They do control A main. It's throwing a bit of chaos into the mix. In through the back of the side, just spots the elbow, and Tens looking this way, that way, didn't know where the players were going to be coming from. Sassy, last one left. Could have been granted one extra, gets the one, backs out, 50 seconds in the round.
It always gets me listening to the Brazilian fans chanting against Sassy. It just seems so wrong. He's in a very difficult situation.
9 bullets, didn't opt to reload, didn't want to give away any sound cues.
If he finds a timing to separate individuals, maybe he could get something
Not
done.
alone.
He doesn't have to be anywhere near the plant.
It doesn't.
Everyone on LOUD is
They're
so
gonna make
grouped.
mistakes. They're going to make mistakes. They don't think he's there on the angle in time. He's caught himself into the 1 versus 2. Also online here for Saturday, but he doesn't really find a time to use it, but the dart reveals all. Sassy has to pull off an absolute miracle. 5 HP drop down, backing away. Now wide and sprayed them through. Sassy, a beastly performance against the former team. Silencing the Brazilian crowd.
That clutch is like a dagger to the heart of LOUD. Unbelievable. I've seen Sassy get these before when he was playing in Americas. It's all down to him playing the Gecko. The fact he can be so far away from where the plant goes down, his positioning is just immaculate in that situation. LOUD are not thinking about it.
Sassy as a player, we needed to see a big step up. He was Norden 6 when it comes to those first kills to first deaths last map. Wasn't having a good game. Pre-fire with a knife, less lucky. Relatively unscathed, all things considered there. Just backing away from the rifle. Being rained down. Massive round though. Still left reeling myself. Flash, clearance, snakebite to respond.
And LOUD are going exploring through mid. If SEN back off here, thinking that it's a B stack because of all of that utility in their face, they may end up running into danger.
Sorry,
Just
mid.
watching it, and they do still have a trip there. But in terms of anticipating 4 players, Tens.
Cleared, now crossfire. Set up forward, an oral theft. Everybody scattered to the winds. LOUD realise it. Okay, we've been found out. Got to back away now and just try and flood back into this. Do some economic damage. So, util flying forwards here. I'll have to push away the plan though, so still. Spike down and out.
Hey, bye,
Hello,
hey.
QCK. No turn on the fire. He's still alive here. I think there's too much danger.
It shouldn't be dangerous, but when the LOUD players hit shots,
just never know. Tap. QCK, hello. It's rattling their heads now. Already 2 taken, stricken off the list. Thrash has to be used. He popped the ult. He popped the ult, man.
He got caught by it, though.
He's trying to time it, yeah. Detained up into the corner here. Potentially winnable, though. Now, man, it's looking more likely. Finally fades away, and he's back into him, and here it is. The follow-up.
Hey.
All the rifles online.
He doesn't have the time.
My God.
It's unbelievable how close these rounds are getting, though. You know, the one team's got an enormous advantage. They've got rifles, they're in a post-plant position, and yet it still feels like any team can take it. We've had some rounds go down to defuses with a fraction of a second left on the clock. We've had a 1v3 played by Sassy.
We got it! Don't care, we got it!
Exactly. That is going to harm the economy, but not in a way that has immediate effect. But it's going to keep a lid on SEN's economy getting out of control and going to allow LOUD some opportunities to maybe play some anti-ecos later on. But 5 out of 6 of the most recent rounds have all gone the way of Sentinels. When you look at the scoreboard, QCK is the player in position to do the most of that. It's less actually who we haven't seen as much from. Usually, we're expecting less to just be hyper consistent, finding his moments to have value, even though he's playing the Viper. With this composition, he does end up being pretty stuck over towards B. And SEN have been playing so grouped up, he hasn't really found those opportunities. Different defensive setup, though, again, being run here from Loud, as Kawanzin and QCK move their way over the B.
Just calling up on the back of it. Now 2 years. This time,
Blind.
strong, just trying to brave the onslaught as well. Russia players now ready to push him back and away.
Zels is getting the ult online, can counter Sadak. You can see Sadak getting set up to go for the ult. Oh, they just rip it anyway.
Okay. Send it out wide. Smoke's not even propped up yet. Zekken in position, breaking. It's for the Tart. Now a plant. It's the next layer of this one. Sentinels, do they have anything cooked up to try and fight this one further?
Normally, Loud are going to throw in a lot of utility early for plant denial.
Hunter's Fury. Molly's going to be used towards the back of the site. Hunter's Fury. There's the connection. Zekken falls. Couple of beams of that one, but still not being dislodged from these positions. Tent up top. Familiar angle. Has the ult now for a classic reposition. Ult into the back of the site. Could be anyone's game on a knife's edge. Every single instance. Tent sticking the... Oh, not quite already with the ult into the back, but he has been cleaned up. 2 years there. It's a 1v2. Taps it.
Sassy.
Gets Sassy, doesn't give him anything. Still bides his time, waits it out, and now it has been fully drawn down to the final moments. All the kills going Loud's way, but not the round.
Same again. Same thing again. The retakes, they are effective, but just not enough to be able to get over the line for Loud. It's Ten's position, I think, here that is the magic. Look at him, the way that he's able to wiggle out and avoid being traded because he's got the pillar to dance around. It looks lovely. The way the SEN are setting up these post plants is dealing with a lot of what Loud are going for. And when you saw Loud demolish EDG here, one of the things they were doing on their A retakes was throwing in a lot of plant denial, making it uncomfortable for EDG to get into good post plant spots. Well, they can't do that when Zelsis is ulting them.
Shadows traveling.
It's possible. Util cut away. All these close rounds just going down straight to the wire. Again, economy. It's not good.
No. And how many times have we said that? It's just been a running theme. Normally, because SEN get out to such a hot start in every half, this time, they actually have to grind their way back into ecoing Loud. And off the back of a 1v3 from Sassy, too.
Ridiculous recovery. Oh, there's danger there, though, with these Loud players. They're opting for a stack over towards B. 2 years again. Same spot he's been playing in time and time again. Really disrespecting them, though. Just holding the angle for some util. Needs to... Is this a paranoia?
Yeah, I mean, what is the timing of this?
I don't know. I mean, he's found, okay, he's found something. Maybe just hearing the footstep, but another flash is connecting. Gives up the space, just seeking to delay as long as possible. Sentinels, though, looking likely they're going to have an open sight. 2 years is really trying to make this feel like there's lots of players here. Nades forward, so they just spam the box in the common angles. They do deal with him, and finally the flood defense is here in time, but can Loud do anything about it? Beautiful dart. Everybody lit up here, even with the stingers, there's danger. Danger in abundance, but still with the rifles. Holy.
It's Tens again, man. You can't get away from him. Playing that position over towards A-Link, swings around, gets 3, and saves the rest of his team. They're all barreled up in sight. It looked over.
Bunker and down, that's a terrible post plant to be playing against.
Yeah.
We're playing in position at least.
Well, you see how much more difficult it looks for Sentinels when Loud are close by, able to flood defend and throw that utility to put pressure on them before they can get into post plant positions. And Tens bails them out, top of the scoreboard, doing things fantastically, playing from similar spots.
Deep cross map knife. Be landing over towards market.
And that's going to give them a good idea about what the defensive setup looks like, because often QCK is going to be on A.
So a good indicator now. Just waiting for the right time to strike. Thrash. Regenerated the util. They cut up the side actually through the back here. There's a detainment into mid, but won't be any follow-up. At least onto that one. QCK should be alive as well. He's got some backup from the rest of it. Plant now down, and it looks like this might be another funny round.
Loud are playing really heavily for backside B control, which is going to allow them to get players in flooded.
Hit it as well. play for it. QCK does have his own ult now. Run it back. Finally initiated. He was suppressed in time, but just let it loose. Maybe seeing if he can hunt down a few of these kills. And yep, Zelsis caught. Util out in his hands. Wasn't really quite aware of that one. Dizzy tagging away. Zekken spammed. Dart. Here we go. Only 3 players left now. Loud. Fast on the approach. Aftershock there, but a quick TP into the corner. Paranoid order Util layered on top of each other, and they just cannot do anything. Scintillating, sizzling away, spraying them down with the rifles gained. And that is Loud up to a 5 round. 7-5, you can't fault it. Plenty of chances.
It's an awesome half. So many of the rounds could have gone either way and were decided on the tiniest of margins. But I think Loud really figured something out there in that final round. The pit to be able to flood into back B site and the way that they dealt with the aggressive players forwards was lovely. It was anybody's game though. And I think Loud need really another pistol to be able to get back into this.
Yeah. It's hard to say, but so tightly contested. The exception of being our first map, but it has just been back and forth we go between these two teams.
Muito bem, a EDG é
Kakwazi. And one of the best teams, if not the best team in the map 3, I think SEN is the last player as a team. I mean, they have a star player which is second, but they play really well team. I believe their players can perform well, and maybe winning a clutch or carry the game alone. Guys, thank you so much for the support. I want to thank all the families and friends who take me through WhatsApp. I'm so happy that we did this and qualified for the playoffs. I just want to ask fans that we are going to give our best. Let's try to bring this title home. It's all real together.
There about Sentinel's team play in it.
Couple of maps has been not so much SEN getting the advantage at the beginning of the round, but just having really strong ways of being able to close things out. TenZ has been amazing in those spots. And so we go into a pistol, which is insanely important, especially for Loud, I think, to be able to get online. Complete contacting up. Zelsis picks a mid-round timing. Knife destroyed. Could be anybody there.
TenZ back and out. Still open towards his back.
Okay. So close to getting punished there.
Very close. I mean, Les was quick onto the angle, onto that avenue of opportunity. They want to flood out now, facing with the bodies. Paranoia backing away. QCK!
Oh, that's unreal.
It's blind as the fadeaway.
QCK.
Damage has been done. Definitely the Zelsis here. Single shot will do it. Touch close. There it is. Straight to the chest. Brings him down. John can't do much. So Loud with that pistol round, you got to think. Back in charge.
Yeah, looking good for it. To have not won a pistol round the entire series and then get both of them in the decider map could end up being crucial. No way of knowing yet. But SEN are certainly not going to force into this one again. On the defense side, not as many kills. That's a ridiculous kill though. That is a ridiculous one. But the fact that QCK was the tip of the spear is going to start building his way up to the Phoenix ult. And Loud started that with such a contacting approach.
To give anything away. Main benefit of it being that Loud, they have tons of util left saved. Site hit, especially over towards A. Difficult one to try and get through. To clear through elbow, lots of corners.
I think LOUD have got the read now that this was not a heavy A setup. They are just charging their way forwards.
Yeah.
As soon as they don't meet people early, they realize that they've essentially got a free plant off.
It's a good post-plant position as well. Just for the spike to be dropped down, laid down. Snake bite.
It looks like SEN are going to send utility here, rather than trying to save it.
They can take an early fight, and you're right. I mean, could get costly. Normally you want to be saving these pieces of util, but clearly Sentinel's thinking, feeling like it could be winnable, but not with the gun disadvantage.
No, I mean, keep an eye on the SEN retakes on A once we have rifles online, but that was very easily cleaned up. I think that's going to put people in positions where they need to go for light armor. Well, it could end up being important against the Bulldog and the Stinger. You know, the fact that they ended up investing there in the utility to go for the retake. But I think SEN are going to be confident in those kind of rounds once guns are online. Their comp can just util dump spots on A. It's very difficult to hold on to post plants. That was most of the metagame, actually, that we saw in the last time that these teams faced on Sunset, was how they approached the A retakes.
The bonus round now to be cooked up for LOUD. They've got plenty of danger in it. I mean, that ran it back earned. 2CK, this guy is frying. I mean, he's 20 and 10 currently. In the top. Another score at the top here, though. Tap and a face. That contact play style. Finally, punishment in place.
Yeah, but I mean, what a spray from Zelsis.
Yeah.
They're trying to punish the orb pick up there, and they both get sprayed down. Targeted the paranoia onto a spot that TenZ is often liking to play, but it's second up there this time. In market. The trip not broken, though. They know it's fake market pressure. Yeah, this is a weird one.
No way.
Did they spot a hint of 2Es? Was there that question mark on the minimap?
Maybe.
Yeah, pinged out, I think.
Yep, it is. Leaning this way. Celsius. He is a low player, but he decides to take the fight anyway, not set up onto that angle with any form of util. Sassy now, he's in a one and done. Dart has to be broken, and he's revealed his position now. This is problematic. Still util now. TenZ right behind them, sends out the paranoia, and there is that swing, and that's a spike going to be dropped down. Most of his team nowhere near here. Les is the last one standing.
This flank from SEN has worked beautifully, but the LOUD players barely reacted. I don't think they knew where that paranoia was coming from. It's left Les in a 1v3, in a much worse position than Sassy was when he was able to get the plant down.
Yeah, I mean, 15 seconds left in the round. It's a possible scenario.
10 seconds left.
And Les will just be trying to win this one while the rest of the team in silence scratches their head, wondering where it all went wrong here. That pick onto Zelsis puts Sassy in such a difficult position, and the flank from B bailed him out.
This might be Sentinels just getting a bit of a read, I think, in terms of how LOUD want to play and set up into this one, of how many risks they were taking on this round against the bonus round, right? You think about it, pushing through into B main, hard flanking through the back,
30 seconds left.
giving them all that information.
But I think going for flank plays like that just plays really nicely into LOUD's composition, which lacks the Cypher. Anytime you can get aggressive like that, yeah, go for it. Why not? LOUD are not going to have that information, and they're going to find it difficult.
TenZ not to be dislodged from this spot. There's a Phoenix flash in his face, though. Won't be punished and dropped down. Paranoia now. TP, phone line, everything. The kitchen sink being tossed and turned and shucked at them. Out through market. Flash over the way. Ring around a Rosie. Zekken can't escape.
So now we get to see LOUD in a post plan. We saw a lot of it from SEN. Here it comes.
Paranoia, yeah. Thrash as well. It's all being laid out on top of one another. Fast. Cover play. Shock into the corner was utilised a little bit earlier, but everybody tucked into main. Do have the orb for this one. Actually some mollies as well. We're going to see how the util just reigns supreme into it. Dizzy over the top. Anything to try and latch onto this spike and get the defusal started.
Is there time for the thrash?
I don't even know. I mean, listen, it's going to be 1 second left. He wants to use it, but again, somebody needs to get onto this one. Already detained. Into the side, into the corner. Where is the time pressure? Hello! Finally, wingman down, and the rifle's there. Has to be bodyguard duty. Spraying them all down. Wingman! He's been stopped in his tracks. Half tapped. Sassy. No more to room. No more to work with.
And this game, more than any that I've seen recently, has featured just everyone dead on both sides kind of post plans, where things are coming down to time so much. I mean, both teams playing this kind of more passive setup over towards B with the post plan, but throwing a couple of people in aggressively to draw out early utility. And so teams are getting stalled in these spots. If Wingman had not gone down there, we could have had a very similar situation to Icebox, where little bro's just sat inside the pit, just tinkering away, cutting the red wire.
Yeah, it's a good heads up from Loud though. They get the 3-kill spray and down now. I think most teams might just end up stopping the spray. Thinking that they got everybody. All the targets are going to be on it, but no, Diligent.
I wonder, does this knife incentivize Sentinels to go for the B push again? Is there going to be some kind of trigger that gets Sen going aggressive on the map? You see that John is moving around his Cypher setups. This time he's got a cam in mid, so they don't have to play that particularly. You can just rely on the camera. A trip for market because Sen were playing B main kind of aggressively to start the round.
Smells like a B retake.
It does. And obviously you don't want to be hard anchoring the site against Kawanzin's Rolling Thunder.
No.
But also Loud would love to save it if they get the info that it's a B retake setup.
Hello, where's that orb going? Straight up into the sky.
Not where it's supposed to.
Oh, Rolling Thunder now though. You feel the presence, now they're going to be using it. Tens, P's, and away, back to the corner actually.
Not away.
Even deeper angle, he wants to try and take the fight to them. Flash, force to set it up, that's Zelsis. The dynamic duo just weaving in and out, and the flood defense this time reigns supreme.
I love it. I think this map is set up so nicely for B flood defending. And the way that Tens just eats the breach ult and still is able to survive and get a kill. Yeah, they just assumed, okay, nobody would be silly enough. Nobody would be whimsical enough to take a teleport into the corner while stunned up. You're dealing with Tens.
He goes through it.
He's taken the brain of Angel and Redgar and combined it with the skill and impeccable timing of... Dude, I don't even know.
I mean, himself.
Who's got it like he does?
Yeah. Guy's stylish, man. He's stylish. But on a knife's edge. One of the only rounds, really, that just goes entirely the way of Sen. We see them now just having that lead. Knocking the money back down here for Loud.
Yeah, this is devastating. Once Sen start building up a little bit of momentum like this, you could see them pulling away.
Right here. See you on the other side.
Loud would love a thrifty here.
Seen him do it. Sharp with the Sheriffs. Busy dealt with flash to follow up as soon as that knife gets the confirmation. No one peeking off of it though. All the noise in the world being made really out towards Alba. Now Zekken should be able to get himself out of there with a satchel. In fact, Molly didn't clear him. Oh, what a shot! That's nasty. All up, taking a pause into the round here off that initial kill. Just seeing if they can pull any of the Sen players around the map.
It would be a little difficult to retrieve this rifle. Might not be something that is possible to do. The smoke, though.
It's just Sassy who's holding the corner. And like you said, there's a smoke now.
Yeah, now it is possible to go and get that.
Sen calling for a reclear potentially of their own. Wingman. Rue gets the acknowledgement.
Yeah, somebody's in elbow and also pushed up close. That gives you a good idea. It's going to be a re-hit. Tens takes the fight.
Tens, there's a fault line follow through there. Zelsis close to the corner. To get the punish. Through those shots now. They're worried about the TP close to the corner here. Zelsis heard that sound cue, but it's all just feigns and fakes on top of each other. There's only 25 seconds left. What do you go for here? I mean, a pause into the... Going for a re-hit.
20 seconds.
Going for a re-hit.
Zelsis is in a committed position.
Really committed. It's the first phase coming through. It's just the players of the Sheriffs, and they're all going to be falling now. Fully crumbling. Less. The one with the rifle makes a decent job, a decent go of it, but now 2 more rounds for the lead here. Sentinels.
Loud look a little lost in that spot, though, man. That was a bit of a disappointing round. I wouldn't be surprised to see them take the timeout, and I think they have, actually. But they call a pause in the round there, right? On their attack side.
Go. Good.
This is...
Call, we go. Don't be scared. Let's go. Good.
This is...
Call, we go. Don't be scared. Let's go. Good.
Yeah, and on the other side of things, SEN building up that confidence, making sure that everybody's on the same page. Map goes. If Loud lose it, after investing ults, which I'm sure they're going to go for, they'll be dropped back down to an eco, and SEN are basically, at that point, just on a coronation march.
Oh, yeah.
Right? They're going straight up.
The upper round 2 of the playoffs.
So this is a must-win for Loud.
Put everything into it. Luckily, a few ults being earned. So that run it back. I mean, it feels like QCK is never without it. Been earning it at such frequency. All the kills he's been getting, the plants, the orbs funneled into him.
But has he been able to find value with it?
Yeah, that's the thing. It seems quite offhanded in terms of the way that they do approach to use it, but every now and then you might see it still. Sassy holding the Dizzy.
Okay, this time they wait out the knife for the start of the round from Celsius. Right, so Loud have to start a little further back, but they don't give away that there's 2 players over towards A. The stun for them to try to take a little bit of space. And look at John's setup again. Cam for the mid lurk, Trip for market. Loud have not been breaking these.
Acknowledgement there from Dizzy. Stray shots missed him. Fired off the warning shots, and I know there's somebody, at least one player lurking out towards A.
But they're not scared of mid, and they're not scared of market, because John's utility is still there.
Right inside the smoke. I mean, they're setting up for a pop flash play here. Yep, they can hear it. The door being broken down. They're going to try and fight Tooth and Nail for control of it. The nade down. How does Second get 2? That is ridiculous. QCK forced to bodyguard his own spot there. Surviving.
And it goes down to a 3v3 in a really weird fashion. SEN have committed pretty heavily to the B side of the map. And so Loud have actually managed to find an opening here to go for a post plan.
30 seconds left.
The smoke was in the way at the top section of mid. It might already be just close with the rocket, but no, has to respect it, wondering if they could be lurking in that potential avenue. So a free plant here, Loud.
And some players in potential positions to play a nice post plan too. You don't have to be worried about the initiator utility from SEN, which is the main part of it. But obviously there's still danger with the paranoia, with the showstopper. Loud get info that there's nobody on the flank.
Yeah, exactly, with that dart. And around now, and that's a Hunter's Fury to add even more time pressure. Ult committed and stuck. Tens is forwards, he wins his fight. That is ridiculous. Still with a paranoia, now the showstopper. Seeking to commit this one. Where these players might be, but the first tap at least forces out the ult. Rocket flying. Again, clears the 1, but on top of this corner, on top of the box, 2 years, has to reveal his hand, spraying it through. Guarding, blocking, all the bullets, Second, sticking! And he's won the round for his team. Despite the heroics of Sadak, not enough.
लेके गया.
0.37.
It's wild how close these rounds are getting.
Oh my god.
But also, how on earth are SEN even in position to do that? Tens sticks the ultimate, gets caught by a player. QCK is shooting for like a third of a second before Tens even realizes where he's positioned, still flicks straight to his head and opens things up. Even when Loud have openings,
good job, Zach.
SEN are still finding their way through. And I said that was going to be the important round.
Exactly. Here's the money. Dire Straits. Taking a loan out from the bank if they'll even give you one here. Aftershock at the top cam position used early. That's just a trio. I mean, clear out John QT, who's had that cam at the top section of mid. And Loud have been given control of market, control of mid now.
Yeah, this is a very different flavor to the round. The problem is the weaponry is just so advantaged towards Sentinels. Loud have finally got a better macro idea.
Still might be some danger.
Might be too late.
2 players spotted, 1 tagged up here. Shock darts now, and the squeeze is online. QCK is wrapping around. Molly there. Oh, hello. Trip. Tens lit up entirely. Let's loose that paranoia, but that one way, less than ideal. That was John's.
Great crunch in B main though from Loud.
Yeah.
SEN couldn't figure out how, which direction to go in, I guess. And Tuiz is here ready to pick up Celsius. All good.
Okay. All good.
And what a recovery. The Mastercard Thrifty coming through could not have been a better timing for it. By all rights, that should have been Sentinels favored to go up to series point. And instead, they're going to take a tactical timeout here to discuss what went wrong. And to me, it's very clear. They finally lost market control. Loud actually went and took that space on the map that otherwise John's just been watching with a trip.
Main control, the pivot from SEN. Yeah, you are right. Losing control of that one. So Sentinel's going to be using this timeout now to discuss precisely what went wrong. Potentially putting more of an emphasis onto mid. But again, Sadak, world-class caller this guy is. No slouch as well with the aiming department, at least for this map. He's going to be potentially even expecting that. There's layers to it.
Yeah. I think from Loud, though, this timeout is also going to serve them. Because they've been... So let's see what he's brought to the table coming out the back of this timeout. Looks like SEN want to try to take perhaps. We can see them pinging out the mini-map over towards A. And second set up for an earlier fight, something he hasn't done a ton of.
We're waiting for the acknowledgement of the knife to go for a bit of a flash play to Dizzy, all combined. Dart broken.
One suppressed.
One player tagged there.
And it was Sadak, who does sometimes play alone on the opposite side of the map. Just to make it feel like there's presence where there isn't any. Sassy gets ult online.
It's a big one. Pre-firing, hoping on the shot there onto the market trip, but no dice, still remains up.
And so John continues to provide great info to his team.
Hello. Oh, Second go for the repick there with the thrash. He's punished.
Yeah. Second's been neutralized, to be honest. As much as Kawanzin was bigging him up at the halftime, you know, in the segment talking about Loud's, Sentinel's strengths, they have managed to neutralize the star player of SEN. But they need more. They dodge the knife again. This is going to give Loud the perfect timing to go into Sassy. Can he pull out some magic?
Jumping around. Drone hears it, has to respect it now. It's running away just to get the hell out of there. Doesn't break the drone either, so it clears out the site entirely. No command. Let loose, let rip. Zelsis spreads it wide now. Cross onto the site, not going to be letting them use that util plant. Stuck here by Kawazin, tends onto that high ground approach. He has found value with less being removed. That's one of the star players going pound for pound, just removing this one, and a call is made to try and fight this one. Sassy taking it straight to them. Man in tow, and he just caught the backside, clips Sadak out towards the back of the head. Flash through, run and gun with a Spectre, ult denied, 2 years, he's miles away. The knife gives them every single bit of information they could want. Skipping a hop, dodging round, surely! No way! SEN up to 12. Oh my!
Another round where every player on SEN hits the deck and they win it anyway. I was looking at the minimap the whole time at Tui's positioning. He looked his way fully through B main, walked all the way into Boba, going around the world, and he was way out of time.
I believe that's straight in catch.
Yeah, it definitely looked like bullets were headed in Ten's direction.
Can't believe it.
But it's better to be lucky than good, and damn if Tens isn't both.
And this is it, potentially. Precipice of defeat for Loud. QCK, sliver of an angle, just holding it ADS, but he does not get what he was seeking. Running away, less. These matters into his own hands. Yeah. Look at the steep lurk.
These are the rounds where Les just decides, all right, my team's struggling to come up with an idea. I am going to make the play to win.
Steep goal. Zelsis wasn't ready for it. Peeking it wide like that, just slowly. Les did manage to vacuum up that space now. There's going to be that repick. Sassy just trying to tuck himself into the corner here. Needs some help from the rest of his team. Hunter's Fury trying to collect these kills as well. They're trying to face from Spawn. Run it back there. Actually brought him down with the ult, and Sassy in this entire time somehow has stayed alive. Tucked to the corner. Got a smoke at his back to try and help him out, and everybody's going to be facing him here. Flash in his face, spraying through. It's all praying. But this time Loud. One's on top here. 5 alive. John QT might not be long for this world either.
Probably just going to save. I mean, look at the economy of SEN. It feels like SEN are in control, and yet you look, because they've died so many times while winning these rounds, they don't have an economic cushion to rely on.
Yeah.
So John keeping this weapon online, it does end up being really important.
It's common the entire time. You can see it in the scam.
Yeah, it's like a mini timeout for him, right?
Yeah.
To discuss what's going on. And really, the big difference that round is that Les just found an opening up through elbow. I'm not sure exactly how he's managed to find that read, that SEN had nobody playing there. Perhaps, even if people were playing there, he was happy to take the fights, just believing in himself. Does John save this?
He needs to rifle. And 2 years, I mean, he's just making a mockery of him. Jumping through, knowing he's low enough.
We are going to be headed into,
oh my God,
the final few rounds here of the match, with Loud favored to bring it to the final round. Maybe even some OT afterwards. It's crazy the adaptations that these teams are willing to make. And even if it isn't a team-based thing, these players are willing to make. Look at this gamble. SEN gambling over towards A, because that's where Les found the success previously. Sadak's already swapped it up. They're headed in the opposite direction. Trying to keep it safe, keep everybody together, make sure they can trade out low ecos.
Stampede there, hearing him across the floorboards. Util in the world as well, pointing into that direction, and a fast follow through from SEN. They're going to be chasing the noise cues. Hoping to try and flood in time, but there's nothing to push back this plan. So Kawazaki gets into it now. Really online if he chooses to expend it, but
Market or
necessary.
Boba.
I mean, a win here for SEN is forcing out those ults, I think.
Yeah.
I'll say that. They could close it out here.
See? No one to break, no one to deal with it, but it's a flash using, running and gunning.
They could close it out here.
Okay, drive by, going wide. One player falls, a tap now, forces out the snake bites.
Sub main, sub
Utilized here, Kawazaki still has the ult, surely. There's no danger, surely he tends. Doesn't just TP, but he does straight into them, into their faces, tapping and spraying all the way through. Rifles. They'll save the day. John would potentially like to get away with this one, but it's going to the final round of regular time anyway. Might as well go down with the ship.
I believe for a moment there, when SEN had their weapons, and were just running into backside, overwhelming people. That's pretty good awareness from Sadak as well. TenZ is difficult to see in that spot. And this time, the rifles are able to find their mark, and the spam is good. They use the pit. A timeout taken. A timeout taken. Right before the last round of regulation, Kaplan hits the red button.
Tension could never.
Chill.
Much value from this Cypher setup. You know, if you hit an Unbreakable, there aren't actually that many tools with Loud's composition to be able to get through it. There's obviously the trips or the shocks or an after shock, something like that. But Loud have not been meticulous in making sure all of that is eroded away. Tui's has bought the op again. On the attack side this time.
Yeah, just trying to slow it down, and why not? You have the money, you have the cash. Maybe even just anticipating some kind of adjustment from Sentinels here, but it's everything tossed into the mix. One round to decide it. Does the series end? Does it get totaled? Or will there be that continuation of play? Loud have a chance to fight back.
Very early dominance with their utility over towards B main. Paranoia used off the rip from Tui's to make it feel like they're taking early B main control. I think trying to prompt out some kind of aggression in A main and see if they could punish it. Maybe even hoping that Zekan or Sassy would play for the ult orb and they could get that. It really feels like they're trying to trap them going for the A ult orb. Zekan and Sassy are not taking a risk like that to throw away their chance of winning the match and going to meet Gen G in the uppers.
Hey,
no dice on that early trap.
The deep drone not broken. You can feel it palpable in the air. I mean, thick with tension. TenZ Tiniest of angles, tiniest of chances, but he gets it. Ulted up, stunned up, will be brought down in the end, so the trade is online here. And a call is made for SEN to scatter. Backing away, playing for the retake here. Sadak is going to go for the plan, but he's ended up just throwing it to the side. He's going to give it to QCK to get that run it back.
Optimizing, but also giving SEN an opportunity to throw in some util early on. They're not going to go for the flood defend, though.
Yeah, suppression fading. When is the time to strike? Here it is. QCK lets it rip, breaking the util. Dizzy. Oh! This play gets caught into the wall there. Unfortunate with it. Still watching, holding for the flash. Anti-positions played. Spam into the box, but it does buy them critical time. Running their way past this one. Are they going to anticipate? 2 years! Nails them to the back wall of Link. The upper second shot goes flying wide. Smoke and disengaging. Back and away. Celsius seeking to clear this one out, but again, the time running against them. The rifles have to sing true. They have to ring true, but it will not happen. Overtime once more. And Loud, they're desperate for it, man. Crawling.
These late adjustments on Icebox and now on Sunset to be able to get into overtime have just been marvelous. And this, with TenZ being able to get the first kill onto Les to start with. But that punish at the back of the Rolling Thunder was so important. Remember what TenZ was able to do to them over towards B as he teleported into a corner, didn't get away with any shenanigans like that this time. No ops being bought in OT. No. So no craziness just yet, as Loud swap to the defense side.
That's right.
Remember, SEN were trying to set up these mid lurks quite a lot and threaten it.
Too much threat behind it though. Now that dart's going to be fading away. SEN happy to wait it out for the initial 10 seconds.
Mid ka control
propped up.
Yeah, and going for their defensive setup where 2Es is the player holding aggressive over towards A, so they frequently leave 2Es alone in these spots. This time though, he's got backup from Kawanzin. Dizzy off the cam contact. 2Es trying to find a timing to re-paranoia and take position on the A line. Doesn't catch anybody. It's the same kind of thing again here, Brent. Trying to set up this mid lurk off A main distraction. Yeah. But I swear, Loud are always super aware of stuff like this.
Deep Smoke did pull Kawazin away. He might be able to react in time though to help 2 years out with a couple of pieces of util. Now time is going to become an issue and a problem. Flash through over the top. 2 years just bumbling into the walls there. Lucky that he didn't pay for it with his life, but he backs away and now the call is being made. Rotations abound here for Loud.
And now they're going to be in position to try to send util to stop this.
Satchel. The pathing over to the top. Plant. Actually going down here, but any sort of util. After shock, breaks it. 12 seconds. Time really against them. Snake bite drop down. Loud. This is them with a chance to really gain some ground here. Swinging wide to punish. Kawazin, he understood it as a win con and just decided to take the risk anyway. 2 years, fake the TP back, and now they want to fight this one into the back of the site. Double face, no util. Sentinels barreling through, finding their own timings. Gifted with it, spamming through. Sadak left in a 1v2.
Second making the wrap around to A-Link.
Sadak sticking this one half onto it, half onto the fuse. He's bought himself a little bit of time, a window potentially, but he just needs a kill, and he's not being given it. He's not being given it. No one will give him an easy one. And face together, it's Sentinels on 13.
They have pulled that one back from the brink. Loud's identification that was an A hit, and the fact that they got players ready to throw utility to stop and put pressure on the plant, that almost won them the round. You saw Kawanzin just barreling over the top of the mosh, trying to end the round instantly by denying the plant. But not everybody on the same page, and it gave SEN an opportunity. They're up on match series point.
The tiniest of differences. Snowball out of control with these rounds, and you're right. Match point, map point, series point, whatever you want to call it here. It's Sentinels in that driving seat.
This time, John Cutie hasn't put a setup for mid control as well, or mid information. So he's got the cam in market, but he is going to need to rely on other people watching the top of mid. So that's going to weaken potentially the A side of the map. So they're kind of cheating here, going for a very aggressive, strong B hold, but a weak A, playing retake A. We haven't really seen SEN in this match pull off the retake A superbly, but it does exist.
Tense at this angle, man. I mean, a high-low position. You can't account for the two spots that he could be peeked from. The flash in his face was not turned in time.
Doesn't make a footstep though, so they don't know exactly where he's positioned to punish him.
Moves his way out. Cam broken there from the shutdown, I believe.
They're going into the heavy B setup.
Into it indeed. Potentially into the jaws of defeat. Zekken. He's found his slice. Sadek removed. And now confusion. It's a frantic play from Loud. Which direction did it go into? The one-way stopping them. Ults. And the util has to be used now to clear it back through. But the spike's been dropped down. And time against them entirely. Pop flash slay. Watch 4 to the stand. And 2 potentially to fall. 2 years and less together now. Tapping it out. But there is no chance. There is no hope. Sentinels. Inevitable.
SEN look incredible here. Dominating on the first map and squeezing through in overtimes to take their appointment with Gen G in the upper finals. Loud pushed them.
Oh, they did.
But SEN were resilient the whole way through with huge performances coming out from multiple players. Sassy's 1v3, absolutely instrumental in getting them into a winning position on this map. John called a great game the entire time and was fragging too. It's not over for Loud, of course. They are no strangers to taking the long road in tournaments like this.
Buy the SEN bundle. Shoot, 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 shoot. So let's go now. चलो हो गया आज का